You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
All personnel, clear the launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 137. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are. Hopefully, you're doing well. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the Trail Master Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether this is your first time or you are a repeat offender, we know. We're thankful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're new, you will find the water to be warm. If you are a family member, hey, welcome home. Hey, tonight's show is brought to you by you guys, the Patreon listeners. If you'd like to get involved in that, please go to leavingtodaypodcast.com. Click on the Patreon logo. We make it super easy: $1, $3, and $5. It could be a one-time charge or a recurring payment. Anything helps us along the way. Also, if you want to be the cool kid in school or in your office or at the mall, you want some LTP swag, you can find that there too at leavingtodaypodcast.com. Click on the shirts. And also Instagram, it's a good way to find us. We have a link tree on there with all the details on that. Tonight, we will be covering the news because some news items dropped. We got to get into that. And then we will probably shift a little gears a little bit later tonight into something different.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight's opening question. Tonight we had a little bit of a pre-show live chat with some really cool people, and they submitted some questions. So the first question came from the Popcorn Yeti.
Yep.
His question was, Finding Nemo subs, refurb or sink those? Sink those subs. Yeah. And we do appreciate the question. So we've got two questions. We're going to answer them. This one first. Who do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, there are definite arguments clearly for both.
Yeah.
You have on one end the history of the submarines.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody who knows, there is a rich history, and they're pretty historic in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So for that alone, you kind of have to go like, hey, we got to keep them or refurb them. The other flip will be like, I know a lot of you guys have never met Mark. And if you've ever tried to see Mark get into one, it's kind of funny.
Yes.
He does not fit.
No.
Yeah, he's not a small man, and he's tall in stature.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. You're like, yeah, I need to completely, redesign them and redo them. I am of the mind, though, of we refurb them. We keep them. In this day and age, everybody, well, a lot of people, everybody's kind of an overstatement, but there are a lot of people who are, for whatever reason, we got to change, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to...
Walt would want change.
Yeah, or my favorite one, like, well, Walt said that the park will never be done. Okay, we've all been down that road, and we can all pick on quotes from Walt to defend either position.
That's true.
So I'm going to speak to mine. Too many people, again, with them wanting to change things, I feel a lot of people, when they say change, they also mean erase. And by mean erase, they mean erase where we came from, the past. And I have never, ever, 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 ever been okay with that. It may be some people may think it's an overstatement, but no, we cannot forget our past. So, refurb them, keep the history, we gotta know where we came from.
Yes.
So we know where we're going.
Yes.
So for everybody, change isn't bad.
No.
But full erasure is always bad. We got to remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
what is the term? Change is inevitable. Growth is optional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, refurb those bad boys. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I'm gonna echo Udi's statements on that for a couple of other reasons. Just my personal opinion is that as a kid, you're 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid, boy or girl, doesn't matter. How cool is it to ride a submarine, dude? Yeah. So you get that experience for one thing, and you're never going to be able to do that anytime in the near future after that, because not too many people have these things. I think only Tokyo Sea has a fleet of submarines left. But you've got that. Then you've got the kinetic energy that the lagoon has with the Matterhorn in the background and the monorail like whirling by and Autopia behind it. That being said, I think that while Finding Nemo is a really good IP and it really lends itself clearly to underwater antics, I would like to see a change back to maybe something of the original theme, the submarine voyage through liquid space, where you get to go on another adventure where there is peril, like the old days. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe a new IP needs to come out of this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think maybe Finding Nemo's, I don't know if it's not popular anymore. The IP, I don't know.
To go there real quick, we're kind of in this weird place of not getting new IP. So
yeah,
they're doing a lot of rehab and refab and rehash. So yeah, I think an all new IP would do that, but it'd have to be something kind of like 10,000 Leagues or
as one of our listeners said, Atlantis.
Yeah, another good. I mean, an old IP, been around for quite a while. A good one. I do enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, maybe a new one would be better.
Okay. Or something we've never even seen before.
Yeah.
Iris had the idea of going back now. I'm thinking about this when Star Wars. I'm quoting when Star Wars Land was going to come to Disney. Remember, we had no idea what it was or where it was going to be. We had our speculations. I'd always thought that the submarine voyage would have been cool if it had like something to do with that Naboo, the underwater thing, with the was it Boss Nass and those guys, and because that to me was such a really cool
Gooberfish,
a little segment that you never saw that in Star Wars. Like, what is this underwater world?
Never mind. I was going to go to Mount Calamar, but hey, we don't need to go there.
Oh yeah, I don't need to go there. Anyways, so here we are. The answer to the question is, we both want it refurbed into something else.
Yep.
We both agree of its importance of the park and the historical importance of the submarine voyage.
Yep, for sure.
Keep it. All right. Another question was, what attraction that's in Disneyland now would you like to see made into a movie? And we did have some time to think about it, and we had some good answers.
I had mine right away. Those pop in, and maybe it's because I've thought of it before, probably. But I got mine right away. Go for it. Yeah,
mine was Matterhorn. My first one was Matterhorn. And then what you didn't hear, because we were talking about it, is I go, well, what would that even be about? And then Udi said, well, it could be about, some sort of encounter with the Yeti, like hikers or something going.
Here's my pitch. I'll give you my movie pitch. And
yes, okay. Go ahead.
Imagine a young anthropologist looking for a lost city, or even more so, the missing link. And then they go off into looking for the legendary Yeti.
The Yeti, yeah.
Or the missing link, and that's the adventure that then ensues. They find him, track him down. Not like when Harry and the Hendersons. Not to that level. Like legit kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever want to make friends. It's never going to be a thing of like, I don't ever want like the Yeti to be like, we're pals now. Mm-hmm. It would have to be like the antagonist and protagonist kind of dynamic there.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it could tie into Expedition Everest in Walt Disney, Animal Kingdom.
Yep. There are many things.
They have a Yeti there that wreaks havoc. So that would be something I'd be interested in seeing.
Yep.
And then I had another idea, but let's go with Udi's.
What, the Big Thunder?
Yes.
Yeah. So Big Thunder, I'll give you my pitch for that one too.
Marcus also said that. Mm-hmm. I was just going to give credit to Marcus.
Yeah. Big Thunder, searching for hidden gold mine.
Mm-hmm. In Rainbow Ridge.
Yeah, in Rainbow Ridge. Mm-hmm. Looking at the history of Rainbow Ridge, somebody goes like, hey, kind of like a Goonies. Goonies being one of my closet favorite movies of all time.
Loved it when I saw it in the theater.
Oh, yeah. I saw it in theater a little over a year ago. No, coming up on a year?
Yeah, a little over yeah.
No, a little bit less than a year
ago. I saw it when it came out.
Oh, wow, no. I saw it again last October. But that would be great. Young group of kids or whatever, or not even young group of kids. It could be a young adventurer looking into the history of Ruby Ridge, falling into...
Not Ruby Ridge. That's a different...
sorry, not Ruby Ridge.
That's different.
Rainbow Ridge.
Ruby Ridge something else.
Yeah, that Ruby Ridge is bad. Man, it's funny that my mind went there.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to go there anymore. But Rainbow Ridge. Because here is the one comparison I'm going to make. The last real successful movie franchise was Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Based on Disney.
Based on attraction. Okay. Well, we have Jungle Cruise now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go way out on the limb over here and say it's going to be, we're going to get like 3 to 5 of those bad boys, which is fun. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. It was good. Right?
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, you have to, we can talk about that just real quick. You have to clearly suspend your disbelief on that. Oh, Udi's like,
well, yeah.
But was it fun?
Oh, yeah. I had a good old time. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
Okay, let me ask you a question that you used to do on Bad or Bad.
Okay.
Would you buy it on DVD?
Yep.
Okay.
Already plan on it. I've already seen it twice.
Okay.
Okay. So
we'll throw back to the Bad or Bad right there.
There you go. Hey, we may be making a comeback.
No, stop it.
Don't
tease people.
No, I will be. Anyway, but the idea behind Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Cruise, which are both, like I said, both excellent. The MacGuffin. Search for the MacGuffin. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you do that again?
Sure.
It is a known trope, but it works.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. You get wrapped up in the, oh man, can they find it? And the mystery and
every National Treasure is like that, right?
Yeah, and then there's another one. If there's an IP that needs to be found in the park, would be National Treasure. I'd love those, both of those.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I think both of those would be good, and they could both run off of that. I mean, you make both of them for the love of Pedro, and make it that, make it a MacGuffin hunt, and I'm sign me up, man. I'm there.
Wait a minute, you said Big Thunder and what?
And Matterhorn.
Oh, Matterhorn. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All down for that one.
Cool. The other thing we talked about on the live thing was doing a movie about Disneyland as an IP, but maybe just like, it could be Tom Hanks again as Walt Disney and the struggles and the designs and how it all went, how it all went down. To me, I would find that to be very fascinating.
Well, I've been thinking it for a while. We need a good biopic of Walt.
Yes. Yeah.
Not like Saving Mr. Banks or whatever.
I like that.
I enjoyed that film. Don't get me wrong, but it's a very pinpoint part about a movie. I want to know Walt growing up, and for all of those who have not been to the Walt Disney Family Museum, for the love of everything that is Walt, go.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's open now.
It is, yeah.
Really? Do I got to show proof at the door?
I don't know.
Okay. But anyway, but yeah, I think that would be cool.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So those are the two opening questions for tonight's episode. just to give you a little bit of reference, here we are in the summer of 2021. Magic Keys will be unlocked this Wednesday. Today it's a Monday night here in Northern California, very smoky Northern California. And so with the Magic Keys, there's going to be probably a little more influx of people coming to the parks, but that's okay. I think they'll manage it wisely. But things are returned to normal there. We still have no monorails going yet. We still have a couple other things. The trams are not going from the parking structures to downtown Disney yet. Don't ask me what's going on with that. I don't know.
I know why, but I won't get into it.
Okay, but more food options are coming online. We are a couple weeks away from Oogie Boogie Bash starting. I heard that Christmas ticketed events have been announced for Walt Disney World, so that might mean something. 1 or 2 nights are coming out here. I don't know what those are going to be valued at. We'll see how that all shapes down. Because if I end up getting a Magic Key, the one I'm going to get, every date in December is gone. It is blacked out. So that's fine. I typically don't go to the parks in December. But if a Christmas party thing came out,
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay, so interesting. We're going to start off tonight's news with Randomizer.
Dude, how have you not gotten randomizer like
Music? I'll work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
I know you got a world of time.
I do. So for those of you who've been listening for the last month and a half, 2 months, maybe 3 months, since the randomizer has shown up, we never know when it's going to show up in the show. I mean, it could be in the middle of the interview. It could be at the very beginning. It could be in the news. The randomizer does what it does. It just says...
The randomizer randomly appears.
It does. So tonight's first 3, and this is tough. This is really, really tough. So for those of you who don't know what the randomizer is, thank you for asking. We have compiled a list of every attraction in both parks on one giant list, and I randomize it. The top 3 we get to keep one, we get to remove one, and we get to refurbish one. And then we have to provide details about the refurbishment. And no right or wrong answers, but it's a really good conversation to hear where we're thinking. Okay, I'm not cheating or anything like that. The first 3 are Space Mountain, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, and Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I know, Udi, we asked the tough questions on the LTP. We are at Walt Disney Imagineering, and they go, Udi, you have to replace one of these, you have to remove one, and you have to keep one.
Well,
I know what you're going to say. First thing.
Snow White.
Is what?
Redone already.
I know.
Redone.
Is that your answer?
Well, okay. Hold on.
So that means you got to keep...
No, wait. Hold on. I'm going to back it up.
You back it up.
Back it up. Snow White. You will, with the new... Yeah, because it's Enchanted whatever, right?
The Enchanted Wish.
Yep. If you haven't been on it, it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. Like, I've talked about it already on the show. I'm not going to go into it, but it's really good. Keep it.
Okay.
Oh, no, we got to get rid of that. No, never mind.
Because you got two heavyweights there. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. It's not easy. Do you want me to do another one? Okay.
No. We freaking going to go with this because we're not pansies.
No.
Casey, sorry, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No moment of silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then space, right?
Yeah.
I think we brought up space before.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to space. For the time that attraction came online, it hasn't been changed. I mean, the heart of it. You'll have the retheming and the temporary, Hyperspace Mountain and all that.
The overlays.
Mm-hmm. But the core has never changed. It is an incredibly simplistic roller coaster.
Yes, it is.
But, oh, my God, is it amazing. The only thing that I think they could do is make it go longer. And maybe go out of the building. Like your full launch. And then
Original
drop,
designs
and
had
then,
it going outside.
Yeah, and then drop back in. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Only problem with that would be day, night, whatever. But even then, I think that would be the only thing. So what I would do to extend it, you start off with a real launch, like you go launching and try to go as vertical as you can.
Yeah.
Because we get our launch, but it being the time that it was designed and built, very classic now for an average roller coaster. Again, what sets it apart is the ambiance, the theme, the feeling you get from beginning to end, as far as like you're into the port and the whole thing. The music playing, the whole
Yes.
thing. But yeah, that would be amazing. Like imagine coming out, you have your normal right-hand turn. You go up into that docking ramp, as you start going to blast off.
Yep.
But then there you go, and then go up, but go infinitely more vertical. And then have that feeling like a launch. So a vertical launch would be, if they could pull it off, a vertical a launch like the Incredicoaster,
Oh, yeah.
but vertically on that one. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
Bam! Woo!
That'd be fun.
And 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
But they have the technology to do that.
Dude, we can build it. We can make it.
Oh, yeah,
better.
for sure.
Dude, imagine that. And then you go up and then you shoot. I mean, that is, I'd be good with that. You go up and you go out of the building and you just freaking and you have that moment where you hit the apex.
Yeah.
And you have that moment of like looking and then wham, and you're back in. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine that.
Buddy. That'd be amazing.
But maybe what you're talking about, you get a glimpse of that Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean? You're at the very top and you get a glimpse of the park and then,
and then bam.
and you shoot back near the
What do
darkness.
you think of that?
That would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. I'd love that. So that's the refurb for Space Mountain. He's going to get rid of Casey Jr., Circus Train, and he's keeping Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Okay. For me, since I've not been on Snow White's Enchanted Wish yet, I can't comment on it. And I'm not trying to cop out, but
Pop out.
if I'm at Walt Disney Imagineering and I'm doing this, I understand the importance of both Snow White as an IP and Casey Jr. Circus Train. And I also understand the importance of Space Mountain. I guess me personally, I would probably get rid of Snow White's Enchanted Wish because it's something as an adult male I don't really go on. And we've skipped it all the time. And I'm telling you right now, if they did not refurb it, you would not have gone on it. Is that true?
I do go on it, but not one of the regulars.
I have never known you to go on that.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Not again. I'm not going to sit here and try to play it up like I go on it all the time. I don't.
Okay.
Maybe every 4th or 5th trip.
Okay.
Once a year.
Once a year. Okay.
Okay. But now though, I'm telling you, when we go,
Yeah.
I'll go again.
Okay.
I'll make the effort to go.
Okay. Well, see, I'm weighing the options between Casey Jr. and Space Mountain. I mean, so for me, I'm gonna get rid of Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Sorry. And I am going to keep Casey Jr. as it is because I think it's actually perfect for what it is and what it does and the amount of smiles it brings to its guests and the importance of that particular attraction. And Space Mountain, I'm going to have to agree with Udi. Modify it to have it go outside. Maybe have 2 tracks as the original version was going to have, dueling tracks. So you have to keep both of those. You have to keep Space Mountain and Casey Jr. Just because that's part of the heritage. And Snow White wasn't. So, anyways, I know it's not a popular opinion, but that is mine. And now let's go to the news. Yeah. Today is August 23rd, and Disney is released the first look at the inspiration for the Princess and the Frog attraction. So they just launched some new artwork of the alligator. What's the name of the alligator? I don't know. I forgot. So the alligator is in like the Bayou Swamp with Tiana and some friends. and it just shows them on a boat being followed by some guests on a log behind them. So there's not a whole lot to take from this, except we know that there's a theme that I guess she's trying to grab her friends and go to the Mardi Gras, which we think the Mardi Gras is going to be the splashdown zippity doodah thing, right? So we sort of figure that, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is going to be a fun attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be, just a wet ride through the bayou and with some cool animatronics. I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see more of this stuff. And, I don't know. It looks like the theming is going to be great. It looks like the new enhanced, because let's be honest, Splash Mountain hasn't done everything it's supposed to be doing in probably the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Like you see dark corners or lights missing, and and that's not a good show. This thing, I hope it gets all the. Well, we'll get all the enhanced lighting and auto visual stuff, and I'm very excited about that. Are you okay with them moving Critter Country into New Orleans Square?
I have been of the mind that Critter Country is going to go bye-bye.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been okay with that since I got rid of Country Bear. So
okay.
Either restore the Country Bear or give me something new. We already know Country Bear ain't coming back.
It's not coming back.
So give me something new.
Okay. It's actually remind me on our live thing. Popcorn Yeti wanted us to talk about, I think, the Disney stores closing, 50 stores. So they made that announcement that 50 they're all going to be closed, or they only
50. There's going to be I think they're going to be down to 25.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 75 stores right now available.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, okay. I was in the retail space for a good number of years. So was Mark. In fact, that is how we met, for people who don't know. So with everything that we've been through a year and a half and everything that we continue to just get thrown in our face, it has definitely become difficult to maintain an actual brick and mortar. Even before the Rona. Having a brick and mortar was becoming increasingly difficult. Online being the biggest intruder into that space. So when you have that, and then you have it coupled with what we've been through, then of course you're going to have losses. So what I haven't seen the layout of where they are. I haven't seen the list of it.
No.
But it's, in all reality, it doesn't really matter.
Not really.
As we know, Disney has been the brunt of a huge amount of loss. Overall, they have lost billions of dollars. So they're going to have to make choices. So you have everything basically kneecapping them. Again, for people who don't know, because sadly there are some people in this country that don't realize that, hey, when you go to the store, and you go over and you want to buy your, whatever, your ears, that because you want to go to the park, or you want to buy, a shirt, or your kid a plushie or whatever. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that cost money. Delivery, personnel, not only to make it, to ship it, then receive it, and then tag it, and then box it, and then ship it again, and then unpack it. And there are many hands that it touches. There's many ways that money gets put into each item. So without going to a big old diatribe over it, you're going to have to cut costs. Yeah. Sadly, rental, space, insurance, cost of having the merchandise in the store, so that's inventory, and then personnel. All money spent. So when people run off about like, hey, corporations and da-da-da, a lot of people don't get the minutia unless they've been in that world, and they recognize that there's dollars behind everything. Everything. Nothing is free. Nothing is just brought there. Nothing doesn't go like, a magic spell is cast and poof, stuff is there. Mm-hmm. So I'm sad, but I kind of expected it.
Yeah.
I kind of expected it. They closed the one here that we have not too far from here, which is kind of sad, and I feel bad for the employees. I do, but then again, I also feel bad for every employee that wants to work and can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the people who can work and just don't want to,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one of these. You're number one in my book.
Number one. Number one in Udi's heart.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's nothing for me to add to this except that, I feel sad when any kind of thing like this happens, but I'm not really surprised. It probably makes sense for them to get him out of here. And, maybe it's like, hey, you want more Disney stuff? You can come to the parks. Okay. Main Street Electrical Parade and a Christmas Fantasy Parade returning to Disneyland Resort. What? This thing again? Disneyland Resort is reportedly conducting rehearsals for both the Main Street Electrical Parade and a Christmas Fantasy Parade. This is a strong indicator that parades will return to Disneyland in the near future. This aligns with other signs that has been reported as testing of parade floats and character cavalcades. This is not confirmed, but this is what people have been reporting that are inside. The Main Street Electrical Parade, a classic. I remember there was a time when they first canceled this thing, when it was done, you could buy light bulb from the parade as a souvenir. Oh, this is a once in a lifetime thing. You could buy a light bulb and have, keep it in your family, whatever. Well, a lot of good that did because it keeps showing up again. I have no problem with this.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I'm glad that they have this weapon they can roll out to bring people in. I don't know. I think it's cool, and I just think they need to change the narrative a little bit on this thing. Like it's going away forever until we need you again.
Yep, until I've run out of ideas.
Yeah. Yep.
I
mean, it's arguably part of the best parade.
Yeah, I mean, in my lifetime, that is the one that
resonates.
Yeah,
it's one. That's the first thing I think about.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You think of parade, I'm like, like you hear the music and I see the, the Pete's Dragon.
Oh my gosh, right?
The imagery of it.
Yeah. The big drum barrel.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the next news item is Disability Access Service Program. The DAS program will be part of Disney Genie at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort. In addition to the announcement of the new Genie, Genie Plus, and Lightning Lane services, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, coming to the parks. It was also revealed that digital options are coming to the DAS program as well. And this program, as you know, is designed to assist guests who cannot wait in the traditional queues for attractions. With the new program, guests will be able to use the My Disney Experience and Disneyland apps to enroll in the program before they arrive at the parks and select attractions. Great. I mean, this should be a no-brainer. I'm glad they're doing this because some people definitely could take advantage of that and make their experience a lot better. So no, nothing to say about that. I'm glad they did that, and I'm not really shocked. Let's go to the second story first of the last two here because the other one's going to be kind of interesting. Okay, so as we alluded to, as you guys have already know, because you LTV listeners are very crafty in listening and do your own research. So this isn't news to you, but paid Fast Pass is going to be replacement. It's been replaced by something called Genie, Genie Plus, and Lightning Lane. Disney officially is introducing the new Genie service along with Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. Disney Genie service is complimentary, and it's going to be built into My Disney Experiences and the Disneyland app. With the Disney Genie, guests will have a personalized itinerary feature that will recommend attractions, dining, and entertainment catered to their interests. It'll include guest itinerary updates from morning to night. Disney Genie will continue to update your itinerary through your day so you can be more spontaneous and go with the flow. Find your favorites at a glance. Create your very own personal tip board to instantly see your favorites. It will display current and forecasted future wait times, helping you to predict when you might experience quicker entry into the attraction. I see an error there already, but enjoy more flexibility and fun. Disney Genie brings existing planning features together in one place. Join a virtual queue at a certain attractions, make dining and experience reservations, mobile order food at many locations, get help from a virtual assistant, and more. So that's the free service. Let's just talk about that real quick. Again, to me, this is the technology that no one really asked for.
No.
But I have to sort of understand that you and I and listeners of the show are, and everyone in my family, in my circle, are not average Disney fans. We would not need anything to do with this. One of the many reasons why I enjoy going to Disneyland is to get out of a structured environment. I want to be able to go as I can't use this phrase on my own because Dave from Fresh Bake said he likes to go as the Disney winds blow, and that's correct. That's exactly what I would say. I just go whatever I have a few things I want to see and do, but I do not want to be tied to a schedule or have any hints. I don't need that kind of stuff. But for the guests, for the family that's out of state, can go once a year, once every couple years. They don't even know what's going on at Disneyland, and that's not a dig. It's
reality.
It's reality. They just don't think about it like we do. So they may not know that Big Thunder's closed, or they may not even know what restaurants are available in Galaxy's Edge, or do they still have Monte Cristos? They have no idea, and I don't blame them. They just have other things going on, but. I just, that and the fact that says, oh, you know what? I think it's going to be really short wait time at Space Mountain at 4:40. Well, guess what? Who's all going to go there at 4:40 to load up the line? Anyways, it's free, so I'm not going to complain. Am I going to use it? No. Udi, thoughts?
Well, the free version, I'm with you with the free service we didn't really know that we needed or wanted.
We did not need.
Again, here is one problem that I find with something like this. They are assuming, which I mean, to their credit, isn't a bad assumption, but an assumption nonetheless, that a lot of people are going to be on their phone and going to be able to manage and navigate that.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a nose stuck in their phone, okay?
No.
I know we don't when we go. I mean, the only time I pick up my phone is one, picture. 2, I actually get a message or a phone call. Or 3, is our Fast Pass up?
Yes.
Other than that, my phone is in my pocket.
Yeah.
So that is, you're forcing people to kind of migrate to that. So on one level, I get it. We have to evolve. On the other hand, I'm like, you're making a huge assumption. What are you going to do for everybody who's like, okay, so that means you're going to get rid of the paper Fast Pass?
Yeah, those are gone.
Yeah, and so those are gone. Okay, what if somebody doesn't want to download the app on their phone?
You've got that too.
You know, there are many, 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 many things that you can alter a guest experience. So I don't like this kind of forced push.
No.
I don't like it. Like, offer it, but don't make it the only offering. Like, that was the one thing with the Max Pass I enjoyed. You could pay for it. You got the Max Pass, and then we learned how to maneuver within that. But if you didn't have it and you didn't know,
yeah,
hey, I got my paper pass right over here.
Yeah,
and end of story. So you had options to do what you wanted to do.
Yes.
Here they're trying to say, oh yeah, hey, you can do the same thing, but it's all under this umbrella. Okay, but not everybody wants to use that umbrella.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And the Max Pass, to me, was one of the best things they had going.
Yeah.
I mean, you were really good at it. I didn't really do it that much because you just linked our stuff together and said, "Oh, this is what we're doing." Oh, okay.
Yep.
But you know, with MaxPass, could you? It was just for attraction. You couldn't do ordering food with that, right? It was something else. That was a whole different.
The ordering the food was on the normal app. Yeah.
Okay.
Same app.
Okay.
Same thing.
So, yeah, they are pushing you in this direction to use your phone, and I just am not that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it, but we'll play along with that one, I guess. I don't need them to go, oh, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Where should I go? That's like, I don't need that. But I understand maybe at Disney World, I might.
Yeah.
So I can sort of see that for here, not for me.
Well, I think I guess we're gonna wait until we can actually have the app in hand, see how it flows, how it operates. There are aspects of the app that aren't that bad.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't know if you really need that much hand holding.
No. But
and part of it is learning anyway, I think.
It is. I agree. I mean, to your point, I'm glad they linked in the mobile ordering and the restaurant wait list together. That helps. And yeah, no, it'd be interesting. So I don't mean to be sour grapes about it. It's just, I mean, it's free. I don't have to do anything with it. Okay, next news item. Next part of this thing is the Disney Genie Plus service. It's available for purchase for the price of $15 per day at Disney World and $20 per day here at Disneyland Resort. You can choose the next available time to arrive at a variety of attractions and experiences using
MaxPass.
the Lightning Lane entrance. So they're just renaming the MaxPass Lightning Lane. You can make one selection at a time throughout the day, from classics like Haunted Mansion to thrill rides like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and newer favorites like the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Attractions subject to limited availability. This convenient option is the next evolution for the fan favorite Disney MaxPass service from Disneyland Resort. Disney Genie Plus will also include Disney Parks themed audio experiences and photo features to capture your memories, augmented reality lenses for those visiting Disney World, and unlimited Disney Photo Pass downloads from your day if you're visiting Disneyland Resort. So for $20, for us, you get access to the Photo Pass, or what is it used to be called, the Photo Max or something? No, Photo Pass, right? So you get that. I guess that's cool. And then you can select one attraction at a time throughout the day,
which is different from before.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because there was a window of time that you could not select an attraction, right? So let's say we're there, it's 10 in the morning, and let's say you go, oh, Mark, look at, there's 11:40 for Space Mountain. Would you use Space Mountain again? And then we book it, okay, at 10 o'clock for 11:40. At one point, could we have picked another attraction?
I think it was like an hour. Well, I can't remember the exact time, but there was a window where you could go and get another one.
Yeah, but there was also one where you couldn't do anything. So we had to wait a little bit of time before we can go, okay, well, Pirates has a... Well, actually, Pirates wasn't even part of that mix, was it? Let's just say something else. Incredico... No, Galaxy's...
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run has a 12:30. So at one point, we could have picked Smuggler's Run before we went to Space Mountain and checked in. So that, I think, is different now. I think in that scenario...
We often held two. I
Yes.
remember often going like, okay, I've got one, I've got two.
Yes. So now it looks like you can do one at a time throughout the day. So in that example, we have to wait an hour and 40 minutes to go to Space Mountain. As soon as we scan in, then we can get something else.
I would think, yeah.
Okay.
I'm only assuming because we don't know.
I don't know. Is that good, bad? Do you care? Does it matter?
Bad.
It's bad.
Bad.
Because
you're they're limiting your access at a time.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I get the idea. Nothing terribly wrong, but again, you're like, I can only do one. So before, the beauty of the MaxPass was we didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to do the paper. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to walk anywhere until we're ready. But the other part of it is we had two. So we could be like that, and then we have that. We had windows, and we could kind of plan. Now, It's like, okay, we get. I don't know if we're going to be able to look at. Well, in here it says you can forecast future wait times, which again is stupid. I don't.
Says who?
Yeah, I don't know what algorithm they're going to use, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm assuming some mathematician in the back was like, well, if you take the square.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Carry the one.
Yeah. But I think with this one, it's like, what, and I could be wrong, again, not having it live so you can, mess around with it. What if I get the Max Pass? I'm like, okay, we do it for space. We get in the
You mean Genie Plus?
No, Genie Plus, sorry.
Okay.
And we're in the lightning lane.
Yes.
Stupid thing. And then we use our lightning lane pass, and we go, okay, now we're going to try to book another one. What if you can't find one you like or whatever? You've been pigeonholed.
Yeah, you have been.
So I don't like that feeling. I don't like that pigeonhole kind of feeling, and especially if I'm paying for it.
Right, and not every attraction is going to be available for this stuff.
Again, okay. I don't.
Same with Max Pass.
Yeah, and so I don't mind that. That we're used to. In fact, I think we made the comment there are some that don't need them. So that doesn't bother me. But that being kind of pigeonholed into only one, that kind of bugs me. Not as much as the next one does, but we'll get there.
Okay. The next one is the individual attraction selections available for purchase. Schedule a time to arrive at up to two highly demanded attractions each day using the Lightning Lane entrance, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Magic Kingdom Park and Radiator Springs Racers at Disney California Adventure Park. Attractions not included with Disney Plus. Disney Genie Plus. Pricing for this option will vary by date, attraction, and park, and will be announced closer to launch. Genie Plus and Lightning Lane selections will be made on the same day of your visit and can be used across multiple theme parks. Great for those who love the park hopper option. Attractions continue to offer a traditional standby queue or virtual queue at certain attractions like Star Wars Rise of the Resistance to maximize flexibility. Okay. This is new to us, so we don't know exactly how to answer, or even I don't even know how to organize my feelings, to be honest with you, about this. I don't know what it is. I tend to think this is not good for me because this is an additional fee for an attraction. So you pay $20 to do your Genie service where you can do one attraction at a time. I get it. I don't particularly like that. I'd rather you could hold two or have, hey, after you have a half an hour after you pick something that you have to wait, and then you can pick something else. And you can only hold two at a time. But this one's going to say you can only do one. But let's get to Lightning Pass or Lightning Lane. I don't like it. I absolutely do not like it. If I'm paying for a ticket and Max Pass, that's fine. I get it. But this thing is just, it's going to cause more trouble than it's worth. More trouble than it's worth. What is it going to do to the standby time for regular people who don't want to play on that team? Like, I'm not doing that. I just want to go to the park. I want to be able to ride. And see, that's Daniel Hill from the Disney Geek had a really good point about that. If I go to the park and I want to wait 6 hours to ride Rise of the Resistance, that's my prerogative. I want to do that. You not even giving him the option to wait. Here, now you're making me pay an additional surcharge to go on Radiator Springs. You kidding me? And we don't know what this is. I mean, Rise of the Resistance, I mean, you know this is going to be, what, Paris was, $8 to $17 per attraction? This is going to be $15 to $35. And there's just no flipping way that I'm going to pay $35 to ride Rise of the Resistance or Radiator Springs. If they're going to start, and this I don't think is going to last. This is going to go, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So the entire time that Mark was talking, I know nobody could see what I was doing. I literally took my headphones off.
Oh, I wasn't even.
Yeah, took my cap off and took a deep breath. I made the comment previously when they talked about this, and we covered that that Paris was doing this, and I remember thinking, what an idiotic idea that they're testing it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to bring it here. I thought, yeah, Disney World, sure, won't fly in Disneyland. My thoughts have not changed. I completely think that this is an utter cash grab. Nothing but a blatant, utter cash grab of a magnitude that Disney should not be doing.
Right.
So I have been, and we have been on the show, a huge critic of Chapek. I'm not sure if he has any hands on this. But
Well,
at some level, he could have come up with the whole thing, or he could have approved it. I would not be surprised at the bare minimum that he approved it. But here is the main thing with this. As a person already paying a premium to go to the park, and we've all made that comment, we've made the comment often on the show, that we understand the deal. We understand that we're paying more. We understand that when we pay $140, $150 to go in for a day,
Yeah.
we know we're paying for an experience. This here, right here, to me is a blatant slap in the face of every park, not just the average park goer, every park goer. This right here is when you have a company, and we made. I had the question before. We know that they have to recuperate the losses. Okay, we knew that they've been losing billions. The park was closed for a year and a half, and the whole thing. We all know that that story has been told, and we've told it often. I don't want to hear it again. But the thing is, we thought, okay, how? Or I pose a question, how are they going to recuperate that? How are they going to try to make some of this money back? Right here. Here's the main problem with that. You're already asking a park goer to pay for the average family, what? A couple thousand, you know?
Per visit?
To walk in if you're going to do a three-day park for a family of 5, you do the math.
Oh, you are? Oh, for family of 5? Yeah, for sure
for
you
family
are.
4, family 3, you do the math.
Plus
you're already-
food.
Yeah, plus food and that whole thing. Now, I know the argument may be like, well, you know, if you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to pay for it. But that isn't the point. The point is that how will that now affect, and Mark, you brought it up, how is that going to affect standby times? How is that going to affect? Okay, so here's the beauty. Here's the question I have.
Yeah.
Rise. We don't all know it and love it, but I do.
Yep.
What if they go like, well, it's basically e-ticket now. It's an e-ticket attraction.
Then
you
that's-
have to pay to get on. If that happens, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I will look up and, like, find me a survey person. I'll be like, well, you know, we want to ask about your food options. I don't care. Find the survey about this Genie thing and pay and bring that one up because I know it's there.
Yeah.
Go on your iPad, bring it
Yeah.
up, and tell me it's horrible. I'll write as many emails, strongly worded letters,
Yes.
and raise my, and I will not pay for it because, again, these are the things that Disney does that goes too far.
Yep.
It is a slap in the face of, okay, we'll make you pay more. Hey, if you have the cash and the green to do it, okay.
Yeah.
But we also know that by a huge margin of people, they don't have that.
No.
Yeah, again, I hate it when any company begins to cater to the smallest percentile of the clientele. I hate it. It drives me crazy. I'm like, what are you doing, you moron? You absolute moron. You're alienating good chunks of your clientele. What are you doing? You think that these people who come to the park every once in a while, okay, I'll get an extra couple $100 out of them. Is that really worth it?
No.
Is that really worth it?
No.
So these are the moments where I look at Disney and go like, stupid. I don't think it's going to last. I think I will be surprised, and I will eat crow if they go like, "Oh no, it's a great program. And there's a ton of people." I know when it comes out, they're gonna like any good corporation and be like, "It is the greatest program ever." And look at all these people who love it. And you're gonna have those people who make 6 or 7 figures a year be like, "I love it. I don't have to wait in line and just pay an extra $20 for everybody to get in."
Yeah.
How screwed up is that?
It is. Well, I don't think that they're going to say, for example, Rise of the Resistance. It can't be a pay-to-play model for that particular attraction.
But this sets the footprint for it.
It
is what I'm
does.
saying.
It does. It does. And we'll see how it goes.
It's lame.
It's
Disney
lame,
stop. And anybody who is within the sound of my voice, don't do it.
Well, I'm...
Vote with your dollars.
Our listeners weighed in on this, and we got a lot of them that have. We've got maybe 8 people.
How many people are with me on this one? Let's find out.
Well, let's stop. Let's start with our favorite Hawaiian, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Laura, you are our favorite. You guys are our favorite family in Hawaii. Just to let you know. And she will say, "I will use the paid $20 Genie Plus for our upcoming trip if it's available then. I always paid for Max Pass. I did too.
Yeah.
As far as the Lightning Lane goes, I'll use it if I need to. I have friends who visited before the shutdown and they were unable to get a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance. As someone coming from Hawaii, I don't know when our next trip is after this one. So if I have to pay to get on Rise of the Resistance, I will. I'm not a pass holder and I don't live nearby, so we only get this one chance to go on the attraction. I would be crushed if I didn't get on Rise at least once over our 3-day trip." Udi, what do you say to that?
Where is your limit?
Okay, where is your limit for how much for that's going to be? That's a great question, Laura. I mean, what if they say it's going to be $35 to ride that thing?
Are you willing? Okay, so I get your point of view. Don't get me wrong, but the odds of you not getting on that ride prior were not that high. As far as you not getting on, the chances of you getting on were infinitely higher. A lot of people go like, "Oh, but how many people rarely got on?" Mm-hmm. When you go at it, the fact that they opened now to double queue time handles the majority of that.
Yeah.
I get your point, Laurie, but I also think you're running on old. Here's the other part of that. Prior to COVID, we all know Rise of the Resistance was open, a month and a half? A month and a half?
Probably 3.
3? Was it 3?
Oh,
yeah. 3. More along 3.
No,
January 17th, so when did it close?
March 18th, so 2 months.
2 months.
Yep.
It was.
What a glorious 2 months.
Oh, my God, it was. I wrote it 6 times.
You
in that
taunt.
I know, but I love it. I'm lucky, though. I love saying because I know how lucky I am. But that was an attraction in its infancy. Mm-hmm. Crew, cast members, machines, computers, the whole thing cycling. The machine is much more oiled and efficient now. Mm-hmm. I believe I was seeing boarding groups in the 200s getting on with no problem. Oh, yeah. Before, when first month, we were saying they're capping out maybe about 150. They said you get to 140, and then after that, nothing's guaranteed. Right. I don't think that's the case anymore. You could easily get on, like I said, I saw as high as 220, I think. Mm-hmm. Significantly different.
That's a lot different, yeah.
When you think about a boarding group, how many people are in that boarding group was a few hundred at the minimum. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is old. Okay, so again, you're that thought process of like, okay, well, what if I don't get on? If you're there for a 3-day period, I would be shocked that if you didn't get on with the normal randomness of it all. I would really be shocked. I would be. Okay. Like I said, I've never not gone on when I've tried. Never. I know. Maybe I'm being my own bias because that has been my experience, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I've never heard anybody go like, "Oh yeah, I tried that one day and I didn't get on." Okay. Very rare do I hear that stories like I went for the full weekend and I never got on. I haven't heard. I can't recall that I ever heard a story like that.
So we'll see if what that experience is for you, Laura. Hopefully you get on without having to pay.
Yeah, and then hit us up too when you hear this.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your limit? How much would you pay?
Feral Disney Cats.
Hey, Feral.
Marie, I think's her name. We'll see. Sorry if I got that wrong. The free version is of no benefit to Magic key holders. Plus, we all lose the Fast Pass system. We all use the Fast things, what she's saying. I can see this would be useful to people who rarely visit, especially if they go to Walt Disney World, which is a bigger complex, and the planner will help those people hit all the things they want. I believe Genie Plus is only $15 there, and it's $20 here, so it will be down to how long the Lightning Pass lines are as to whether it is worth it or not. I've never had a Max Pass, but it sounds like it would be then a similar benefit to that if the Lightning Pass lines aren't too long. Yeah, I agree with that. Skidamaffin was just here. I'm okay with most of it, but I think having to pay extra for a premium attraction is too far. If you only go once in a great while, then and want to do as much as you can in one visit, you have to almost get the Genie Plus. $150 park hopper, $20 Genie Plus, another $20 to ride cars just seems ridiculous. So around $800 for a family of four for 1 day. Bing, bing, bing. They have already priced out the lower income families and most of the middle class.
Yep.
Walt built the park for every family to have a good time, not just for the rich family. I can't disagree. I think he brings some good points.
Spot on, my friend. Spot on.
Disney will say, well, you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
Well, no, and that is going to be the counter argument. But again, it isn't okay. Disney, we know why Disney is pricing the way they do. They want a specific clientele. They don't want, for lack of a better way of putting it, they don't want sleazy people there. They don't. They don't want clientele that can drag the entire park down. People that are going to be walking down Main Street drunk trying to start a fight with everybody.
Yeah.
Incidents do happen in the park, but they're super rare.
Yeah.
No fighting in Toontown. But again, that is part of it. But there is a delicate balance to be struck with that, and that pushes the pendulum in the wrong direction.
Yes, I agree. Fernando. chiming in. They should call it Thano Plus because it is inevitable. That's awesome. Disneyland has been trending.
He's coming in hot.
He's coming hot. Yeah. Disneyland has been trending towards a pay-to-play forever now. This is just the next iteration of that. As long as people are willing to pay, then Disney will oblige and upcharge for different experiences. It kind of reminds me of that scene in Jurassic Park towards the beginning of the movie when the lawyer was talking about admission and different things they can charge for, and Hammond tries to interject and say that it isn't meant for just the wealthy. Lawyer board replies with, then maybe they can have a
coupon day.
Yeah, a coupon day. No wonder the T-Rex ate him.
Yep. Is he cowered in the can?
Nice.
Good.
Good answer.
Yeah, good points, Fernando.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I can't disagree with that at all. Christine, HM1313, Haunted Mansion 1313, and wish it was a bit more expensive to lessen the Fast Pass users. Hoping it will help the lines flow as they are supposed to, while giving the Fast Pass crowd their way as well. So she wants it to be more expensive to lessen the Fast Pass users. Oh, so if it's more money, then people aren't going to use it.
Again,
is what she's. That's the logic she's going by. Huh? Is that? Do you think that's accurate? That's interesting.
I don't. Again, we're talking about money and separating. I don't know. Again, a lot of people don't do what we do.
That's true.
So at one point, I mean, we got to recognize our own bias. We have to. We got to recognize that we go more often. We don't have to do that. We're not willing to pay extra. We're just not. So if they raise the price, how many people, again, Disneyland has been a locals park. We said it before. Now with the new key, clearly that resident only pass is very, very strict to allow people in. I get that. But still, though, you can't. I don't think you can in that park. These ideas may work better in a larger park or a park off of, not in North America. But just doesn't work for Disneyland. Disneyland is the originator of everything. Often duplicated, never replicated. Is that the right way to say it?
I think so, yeah.
So everything underneath, everything since that one
No,
has been-
often imitated, never duplicated.
never duplicated.
Okay, yeah.
So when you look at every park from the original, and I know I'm biased and I don't care, I'll hold my bias about this one until I'm in the grave. It is the best.
Yeah.
Because everything sprouted from there. Everything sprouted from there. So because of that, the uniqueness of that park cannot be understated. So when they do things like this, and we've kind of, well, not more than often, we've kind of railed against, like, it isn't Disneyland Resort. It isn't that. Like, I know what you're trying to do, but just you don't have to call it that. You don't just do your thing, and don't try to maneuver and push people into these tiny little corners. Like, oh, well, over in Disney World, I get it, but it's a different thing. Well, over in Disneyland Tokyo, okay, but it's a different thing. We're going to Paris, Disneyland Paris. Okay, I get it. Do I need to say it again? Okay, a different thing. Every park has its own unique vibe, feel, and aura or energy, or however you want to put it. But everything comes from Disneyland.
Right.
You cannot look at ideas and go like, oh, we'll backtrack into there. Isn't always going to work. And this is where to me, I firmly fall into that thought with this is like, it doesn't work there. It doesn't work there.
It doesn't work here. No. Trying to fit a round peg into a square hole here with that. Okay. Popcorn Yeti chimes in. It was inevitable. Although myself will be buying this every day I'm there, I still feel bad for those who can't afford to do this for their whole vacation. It will definitely shorten the wait times for those who will be using Genie Plus. I think those who would not be using Genie Plus should at least have the option to buy the Lightning Passes. I'm glad we will still have unlimited photo pass included with the Genie Plus. The thing I'm excited about the most is the added audio experiences, whatever those may be. It's the little things. He laughs. I agree about the audio experiences. I'm curious about that. The photo pass I never used, but I understand why people like it.
Yep.
But he did touch on something, is that it just occurred to me. So if I don't get Genie Plus, I can't use Lightning Pass. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that is the caveat to that. Like, I'm not, I mean, the Lightning Pass is, is Max Pass. Not a cheaper knockoff of Max Pass, but a Max Pass. The one I'm yelling about or upset about is the extra tier that you pay to go right in attraction. Like, no.
Yeah. Well, no, wait a minute. The Lightning Pass is that. No, Genie Plus.
Genie Plus. There we go.
But in order to buy a Lightning Pass, you need to have already spent the $20 to get Genie Plus. That is ridiculous to me. So if I just want to go, oh shoot, okay, great, it's $20 to ride rides. You want to do it right now? Yeah, okay, but no, it isn't, because then you got to spend that Genie Plus. So that's an extra $40. No.
There you go.
Okay. 2021. Burn G, I wonder if the only way to use the Lightning Lane is to buy Genie Plus.
Yeah.
I used to think it was cool that you can still get the hard copy Fast Passes if you don't want to pay for Max Pass.
Right.
Seems like that would no longer be the option.
I agree with
you.
You
are speaking our language. You are absolutely right. I want the actual physical one. I want that option.
I want the option.
Yes.
Give me the option.
Yes, and you're right. So you have to get the Lightning Pass. I'm sorry, you have to get Genie Plus if you want a Lightning Lane. Whatever.
So, for whatever reason right now, there has been an overall theme of people trying to force you, like, I want you to do this. Maybe call me a bit of an a-hole with that, but the more I'm told, like, well, I want you to do that, my first knee-jerk reaction is to say F off. Like, no. It may make sense, and I may come back around to you, but my initial thing is like, no, stop forcing me into this thing. Give me the options. Give me the options, and then let the people decide.
Right.
Okay. So look at the paper. The whole motivator for this is money. I get that, but we can't. Again, we're at that balancing point between guest experience and money. And the pendulum is swinging too far the other way.
Right.
Yep.
Marcus, last comment on this one. Marcus says, I'll try it at least once, see how it goes. I'm trying to withhold judgment on anything until things are back to normal, air quotes, and we can get a better gauge of what works and what doesn't. Yeah, I agree with that as well. everyone has really good points here. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of these. I mean, some of them are a little bit different, but that's cool. I'm curious to see popcorn community how it works out for you. I mean, I want to know. And Marcus is right too. At least we'll see how it goes. I mean,
Well, the main question I have for everybody who's listening to this and has chimed in, if you want to do that whole, pay to ride, whatever, where's your limit?
yeah, for sure.
What is your limit? Where are you going to go like, nah, that is too much? For me, $1 is too much. To me, 1 penny is too much. It is the thought,
The thought. And the other thing is that according to the information was that those prices for Lightning Lane can vary depending on day or demand or whatever. So what happens though if we just paid, okay, for some reason we paid $25 to go on Rise of the Resistance. Oh, it breaks down. Then what? Are they going to refund money? Sure.
I would hope. Well, or give you another time, but what if that time doesn't work for you?
Yeah. Oh, we have it tomorrow at 4. I'm not going to be here tomorrow at 4. Do you want to make yours with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how it's all going to work. I don't see this model working too well. And, we talk about Rise of the Resistance being this great thing, and it is a great thing. But I know it's sounding a bit downtrodden, but the bright side is you can have so much fun at the park without going on Rise of the Resistance, without doing a lot of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, you can.
If you pick like 3 or 4 attractions and just chill with your friends and family and connect that way, you can avoid all this.
Yeah.
So there's ways around this. As for me, I don't think I'm going to get it. Unless they release the Genie Plus where you can have, if they make that more like the Max Pass, then I would get that.
Yeah.
But until then, no. All right. Well, that is the news for this. So we're going to shift gears and do something different, and stay tuned for that. Hey, LTP listeners, this is our feature presentation for episode 137. Special guest on, kind of a weird situation because we just left you, but now Udi is a little south of me in the island, Catalina Island, I guess is the right term for it?
Yep.
There's a longer name.
Santa Catalina, huh?
There's a longer name for that, right?
Yeah, La Isla de Santa Catalina.
Okay.
Otherwise known as the populated island of the Channel Islands of California.
Oh, that. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And Udi, who was that other voice we hear in the background?
So the other voice you heard is a person that some of our listeners may be very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
She is most commonly known as producer Christy.
Oh.
She is also a Patreon supporter of our show.
Thank you very much for that.
No.
And because of that, like any Patreon, she gets to be on the show.
Yes.
Now, mind you, I've asked her a few times, and there's always been like, pretty much that, right?
Since you're sitting in my living room.
Yes.
But
so listeners,
me,
listeners, you must understand. Yeah, something that the LTP will go to great lengths. If you don't come to us, we will come down to you, and we will come to your house and hang out there until you talk.
Right, exactly. And so it happened, just so happens to be that I was visiting. I said, hey, I might as well come by.
Yeah.
Happened to be in Catalina.
Happened to be in
Okay.
Catalina.
So that means who else?
Hey, there's this girl, Christy. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway.
So we have to go to Hawaii. We have to go to Mexico now. We have to go somewhere else, right?
We're going to have to go to Mexico. I don't know where else. We're going to have to go to Oregon.
Hawaii, Oregon.
Hawaii.
Lives right there.
Yeah, he lives over there, but he's not a Patreon. Sasquatch not a Patreon. Or is he?
Oh, Efren?
Yeah. No?
Oh, he might be. I'll have to look.
Okay. Christy is of the mind that he is. So Christy knows our...
No, he's supposed to take me shark hunting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Christy, say hello, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Christy.
I don't know what else to say. Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Well.
Here, and I live in Catalina Island.
Mm-hmm.
And just off the coast of California.
Okay, so as a Patreon listener, well, you get to pick the topic. Did Udi tell you that?
Kind of. He asked me what I wanted to talk about, and I was like, I don't really care.
Okay.
But
let me
so
ask you some questions real quick. Yeah. So why did you become a Patreon in the first place?
Because I started listening to the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working on another show, or friends with all of the other shows that are in the family,
Mm-hmm.
and had just kind of decided that if I was listening, it made more sense to be a supporter.
Okay, fair enough.
And I got a sweatshirt.
Oh yes, you
got a
did.
hoodie out.
Oh, good.
How many of those hoodies are in existence right now?
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 2. Yeah. Okay, 2. Okay. See, we give very good swag here at the LTP.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys were just at Downtown Disney a few days ago.
We were.
And how was that? You guys had some revelations about magic?
Came up from the airport, went to Downtown Disney.
Okay.
I didn't hear your question mark. I'm sorry.
And you guys had some thoughts about the Magic Key stuff and whatnot?
So we got there right after I picked up Udi from the airport. We immediately drove to Downtown Disney, parked in the Downtown Disney parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first comment I made was how cool it was to walk from Disney parking lot. We parked relatively close.
Yeah, really close.
And walked right into the Downtown Disney area. Like security line, there was no security line. It was like immediately walk up through the Disneyland Hotel area and right through the security gate.
Yeah.
Which was just weird. Like
Yeah.
I have been there many times during this pandemic and I've constantly been waiting through the nightmare that was that parking lot for a while. The hour to hour and a half wait in the parking lot at one point.
Yeah, you made the comment when we were walking up as like, this is where people would be queuing to get in security. And we walked right in. I mean, we both kind of slowed down, waited to be told to stop, and they waved us right on through. Yeah.
There was quite a few people in there, but it didn't seem packed at all. It didn't seem, honestly, it felt kind of dead for a Friday.
A little bit, yeah.
We had 0 lines. We went to many stores. We went straight into Ballast Point. Didn't have a wait at all there. I think we waited maybe 5 minutes to get into Ballast Point.
It was fine.
And it was more of just because people were walking in and they weren't seating them fast enough. So the wait wasn't necessarily because there was too many people. It was just because the hostess couldn't seat fast enough.
Quick enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was Ballast Point? Food?
Ballast Point's always amazing. Udi tried pokey.
I did.
He does not like fish.
I do not.
No.
When you hang out with mermaids, you will eat fish.
I know. I kind of had no choice on that one, I think.
Yeah.
And that was actually pretty good.
Okay.
I can't lie about that one.
Is Ballast Point? They're the ones that do Sculpin, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And I had the hard kombucha, which I love.
I don't
Oh,
even remember what I got.
I don't think I've ever had
You
that.
had Kolsch.
I had a Kolsch.
Oh, Kolsch is good. Yeah.
Yeah, the first beer I'd had in like almost a month.
That's not true.
2 months. 2 weeks. 3 weeks?
You had those 805s in my house last week.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Lies.
Yeah, they don't count though.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
The-
805 don't count.
I will say that one of my frustrating things about any of this right now is you go into Ballast Point, you're seated by one person, they sit you at a table, you have to order everything from your app, and then the first thing it asks you is, how much of a tip would you like to leave? For what?
Oh, geez.
Like-
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what did you do? I didn't even get a hello.
Yeah.
So what do you do at that point?
I'm still ethically just stuck there
Wait,
because I used to be a bartender and
Oh, yeah,
I used to be a server.
You paid for that
So it
meal, I
is
forgot.
stuck. Like, do I tip? Because the bartender still poured the drinks, but it was just a hard pour. It's like straight off the taps. It's not really a tough job. There's no server. There's nobody. There's a food runner or an expo, but there's no actual bartender running bars. It's not like I asked for mixed drinks. And there's no server that's like taking your order, making sure you have refills. Because I think we were without water for quite some time.
We were.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So it's like, how do you tip accordingly to that? Because for me, I've grown up with, minimum standard is 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you tip accordingly to that? Like,
Yep.
that's when there is a server and somebody making sure your drinks are refilled or
Yep.
making sure you have utensils or everything you need is on the table,
Mm-hmm.
checking up on you. That's not a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how do you tip accordingly? So that was a weird...
Yeah. I mean, one of the rules I go by is if my drink never goes dry, then you're gonna get a good tip from me.
But you're responsible for your own drink refills right now. So if you order it from this app, then your drink will reappear. So when you get low, you were responsible for ordering a new drink.
Oh, that's strange. Okay.
No. See the conundrum? You see the conundrum?
I do. Yeah.
But other than that, the poke wasn't bad.
Okay. So you guys would recommend Ballast Point?
Yeah, I had the that moment of like, oh my god, what am I about to put in my mouth?
I love poke.
Yeah, it was good. And only from a little bit of poking and prodding. But hey.
I really didn't have to twist your arm because it was Taganashi fries was the other thing we were looking at.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what. Oh, nachos.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to do nachos. I'm at Ballast Point.
We weren't really hungry, but we also hadn't eaten, and it was lunchtime.
Yeah, go ahead.
At Downtown Disney, this was like 2 days after Magic Keys were released, unlocked as it were.
There were so many, like the A-frame signs up all around the park. Like, we do not sell the Magic Key here in the park. You have to get it online. And everywhere you looked is this A-frame sign that says no Magic Keys can be purchased at the kiosk.
Yeah.
Here. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I did find that interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
They're not doing that at all.
So you cannot convert your hard ticket there?
No. But there was still some pretty large lines at the kiosks, which I also thought was interesting. Because no offense to anyone, but who buys their tickets at the kiosk?
I thought they were dissuading that.
I think kiosks just there for looks. Like, unless you have an issue with your credit card got changed and you forgot to switch it over on your AP, like, what is the kiosk for?
Okay.
But there was quite a few long lines at the kiosk, despite the A-frame. So now I'm like, well, what are you people doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
Because I've never known anyone to buy a ticket at a kiosk unless you had to. Like, when we did the $99 Friends and Family, like, you had to go to the kiosk for that.
Right.
That made sense. That's why there were such long lines. So I was thinking to myself when we passed there, I was like, why is there lines? It just seemed weird.
Well, I mean, I have an active ticket right now, and I actually went on the app to see if I could convert it, and there was no way for me to do it.
So I think that you have to go through the customer service line.
Okay.
Which is an absolute nightmare. Those of us that had APs that had to convert our AP over.
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
It was not pretty. Having to call customer service and asking for your refund, which eventually went through just on its own.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to call customer service to get my refund for the AP that I couldn't use. And it was like, you are number 562 in line. Please wait for the next available caller. And it's like, oh. I think I literally put mine on, like, speaker at work and just, like, left it in the corner on low volume, just in the corner somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know how that is. So what are your thoughts on, are you planning on getting one, Christy?
What was that?
Are you planning on getting one of the Magic Keys?
I am really, really torn. We've had many of discussion about this. So I am now officially a Southern California resident, which makes me capable of getting the SoCal Magic Key or whatever we want to call it. I'm going to still call it the AP.
Yeah,
sure.
But if you look out the blackout dates for that.
Yeah.
We did.
It is so rough. And I am blessed to have a clinic job right now where I virtually work Monday through Friday. I live on an island that I can't get off this rock fast enough. And getting out of here to spend a day, like, if I leave the island, I can't come back that day because that just gets weird. So the amount of time and effort I would have to put into visiting Disneyland, that's like a 2-day effort for me.
Oh, geez.
So I'm probably not going to do it. However, since my son does not listen to the show, I am surprising my son next 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we are going to Oogie Boogie. And I had this moment again of, well, I have a 2-day pass because we bought the 2-day pass a while ago. Do I convert it? Do I add it to the Southern California pass? Because really, how much of a bigger jump is that if I get the AP at this point for the SoCal? Because the SoCal is like $560 something, I think.
Not even, I don't think.
No, SoCal is like $400, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But the blackout dates are
But the
aggressive.
blackout dates are obnoxious.
It's it's pretty bad.
And I'm just like,
I don't even know if those would work for you.
I don't think they I would have to take days off of work, so then you lose
totally
money.
Would. You totally
I live
would.
on an island, so I have to literally take 2 days off work to do this. I can't just go. And I have to get a hotel room off island. So I'm probably not going to do it. Plus, my daughter and I have these big plans to go to Costa Rica this year. So
okay,
my money is going towards a Costa Rica trip.
Understood.
Yeah.
But if the southern, like, if there wasn't such a huge jump between the base, like the very basic level, and the SoCal Pass, I probably would just get the basic one.
The Enchant.
Yeah. I haven't
Enchant,
really
Believe and Dream.
because I was a premium pass holder with AP.
Oh yeah.
Because the jump wasn't that bad.
No.
So I was just like, well, I have 0 blackout dates and I have free parking. So, and I had Max Pass before Max Pass was the thing. Because I was, and this was one of my issues is I have had AP so long that I was grandfathered into the Max Pass and the parking and everything.
Oh.
We lost all that with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I didn't cancel my AP. I shouldn't lose my Max Pass and my parking and all my stuff.
That poses an interesting question if you can make that argument to them.
They canceled it for everybody.
No,
Whether
I know,
you've had your AP for 5 years or 25 years, everybody's starting for baseline. Because there were certain things that we got grandfathered because when they put in the Max Pass, some of us were already at that premium level.
Yep.
We got Max Pass for free. So I never paid for my Max Pass. I just always had Max Pass. I never paid for the parking add-on. It was just brought in, and the photo pass, because that's where the Max Pass came in.
Right.
Because that was part of my AP package because I had always been at that level. So it just got grandfathered over. So now I'm like, spoiled. So now I look at the Southern California Pass and I'm like, that's not worth my time.
No, it isn't. No.
We talked about that on when we reviewed it and how that one is, I think, designed really to try to pat down the overwhelming local presence at the park.
I knew the AP was going to eventually come back. There were some talks about the cafeteria plan, which I was very excited for. If you can choose
Yep.
I remember
these
that. We
things
talked
to
about
be
that,
added on. And I was very excited for that. Like the things that matter to me versus things that would matter to those without kids or those that don't drive or those that don't need.
What are some of those things that matter to you, Christy?
Before I moved here, I liked to drive there, and I would stay in Buena Park because Buena Park hotels are so much cheaper than Anaheim hotels.
Preach.
And one of the cool perks in Buena Park for me is Knott's actually does a first responder discount.
Oh.
So I get 25% off at Knott's.
Oh, nice.
So the Knott's Hotel is actually not a bad hotel. At 25% off if they're already cheaper than Anaheim deal, I would gladly stay at Knott's over Motel 6 Anaheim. So
Motel 6.
The Motel 6 is not bad, but I'm just saying the Knott's hotel is actually really nice. And my kids...
I've never been.
No.
Since most of your listeners don't know me well, my oldest is autistic. He's very much in love with all characters. Snoopy is one of his buddies.
Okay.
And so waking up in the morning and having breakfast with Snoopy is not that much different than having breakfast with Mickey for him.
Yeah.
I've had a little bourbon tonight. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But he loved waking up and having breakfast with Snoopy and Charlie Brown. And like, those are still good characters to him. I mean, I've grown up on Charles Schultz, so they're still great characters to meet in the mornings or at dinner, or we all love the chicken there, or Knott's in November through February, first responders get a 2-for-1 free. So like, I get in free and I get to take one person in for free at Knott's between November and February. Typically, I don't know how they're running it anymore.
I wonder.
Which Knott's may not be Disney. It's definitely not Disney. But I hung with Knott's the whole time Disney was closed and went to many of the Taste of Knott's theme things that they did there.
Yeah, those things looked so awesome from my from my end of things. I was envious.
They were actually really good.
Yeah.
And especially because you couldn't go to Disney, it was like, well, now what am I going to do with my time?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so accustomed to, granted, I'm so deeply spoiled. I'm so accustomed to coming down here once a month for something at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can't have your Disney, what are you going to do with your time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll just go to Knott's.
Yeah.
But we did the Halloween, fall, whatever they wanted, the haunted Knott's, Taste of Knott's.
Mm.
And Knott's kind of cheated. They got away with it because they're considered a historical landmark.
Yes.
But it was actually really fun. And this is honestly something I would not have done normally because I am Disney spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And being from Northern California, like growing up around, I grew up at Marine World as a kid. And I've gone back now that I'm an adult and like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Your rides are all run down.
So I know, Christy, I don't know how old you are, but when I grew up, that park.
Younger than us, Mark.
She's what?
Younger than us.
Oh, okay. Well, then when I grew up in the Bay Area, Marine World was in Belmont.
It wasn't what?
That
It was in Belmont.
It was in Belmont. It was right like where Oracle is.
Okay.
It's right in that. In fact, that exit is called the Marine World Africa USA exit. They may have changed it now, but back then they only had water slides. They had all the animals and stuff, and a water ski show. And then when
I remember the water ski show.
But when they moved to Vallejo and changed outfits to Six Flags, I think it went completely downhill.
I grew up with Marine World Africa USA.
Yes.
I went there one time.
Great America.
Okay.
I went there one time.
And I talked to most of my friends from Northern California. The Demon is almost everybody's first upside down ride.
That's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's no ride that will ever compete with what the Edge was.
You are speaking my language. These are all things that I grew up with. I'm old, so I remember when the Demon wasn't the Demon. It was called the Turn of the Century. It was a white, and it had the two corkscrews. And when they added the Demon, they added two vertical loops.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Edge. I remember when they installed the Edge, and that was so intense.
It was the greatest ride ever. And I remember as like this 10-year-old kid getting on the Edge with my grandma, who's now been dead for like 13 years.
Oh shoot! Okay.
But she was probably the original badass woman. Not that I could say that in a show, but
you can.
She was one of those.
You can.
And I remember sitting next to her on this ride, and she looks over at us, and of course we're all scared kids, and she's just like, "Okay, this ride's great. You're gonna love it." And I look over at her, "Grandma, you've never been on this, have you?" And she's like, "No, but it's great. You're gonna love it."
That's awesome.
Like, she had us for a second, like, "Oh, we're gonna be fine. Grandma's been on this. We've got to be good."
Sure.
And then, I mean, the stupid things like I remember the quarters.
I was gonna ask you about the quarters.
On the Edge. You don't understand the quarters.
The quarters. I was gonna ask you about the quarters.
Those are lost on you.
Yep.
This is the equivalent of the Gravitron if you're an 80s kid.
There's a meme out there of me on the Gravitron. I gotta find it, but yeah.
Okay.
Standing perpendicular to
my God, I love that.
Yeah.
To the bed or whatever the coffin. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
A coffin. I think coffin's more apt.
Yeah. But I remember like the gravitational pull on that stupid thing.
And
like, getting off of it with a migraine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember getting off of there with my grandma. Like, she was just like, that was much different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But I also remember like what was the acrobat show that they had? I don't know how you would word that now because it was before political correctness. Because it was literally called the Asian Acrobats then.
Okay.
Oh,
Chinese Acrobats.
At Great America?
Was it called the Chinese Acrobats? Something that they called. They had the acrobat show, and I remember watching that. Of like, wow, that's an interesting position. How do you?
Yeah, I don't remember the show, to be honest.
Yeah, and then I remember when they put the dinosaurs in because I was a dinosaur nerd.
Oh, yep.
That being a thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like hold the baby white tigers. That was a thing there for a while. I don't know. Like, I grew up just outside Vallejo, so this was like where we would always go.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But going down to Santa Clara all the time and going to Great America was always my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
I I still like Great America. I took my kids back when my daughter, who's now 18, when she was probably 9, I think it was the last time we went to Great America.
Okay.
Like, why don't we come here more? Great America's still great. Like, why don't we ever go here?
Yeah.
You have Disneyland as well.
Because my children are spoiled.
Yep.
That's why.
Oh no, hey, I'm not countering that one, but yeah.
Well, you and I had a great conversation this week too, when we were at Ballast Point, actually.
Okay.
And we were
Remind
talking
me.
about we are so spoiled when it comes to Disneyland that the best parts are seeing it through the eyes of people who have not been there.
That was a very good conversation.
And I had just recently spoke with a coworker who went to Disneyland for the very first time. She's not from California. She went to Disneyland for the first time, actually just recently.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm scared to go back because I know what Disneyland should be. And so this has been kind of a hold for me. But I don't want to go and be told no to the things that I'm so accustomed to and the Disneyland that I know. Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So getting to hear her experience there and just like, oh my God, and they have this ride and all the lights are off and all you see is the stars. And I'm like, Space Mountain. Like, like,
yeah.
Great. But getting to hear her enthusiasm and her excitement for all of the things, and it kind of brings that back. And I was telling Udi that when we did the friends and family thing, I had a couple of friends that he's actually met before. That when we were out at Disneyland, when we were doing the friends and family, they went with us for 2 days. And the first day, they got the friends and family pass for us, and I was like, "Go be free, go enjoy Disneyland." They'd never been to Disneyland before. And I was like, but the rule is if you hang out with me and my friends, which it was me and Joey, and I want to say Jacob was there, but all of us Disney nerds that know the parks really well, well for our own good.
No such thing.
If you hang out with us on our terms, you have to hang out on our terms.
Yep.
Like, there's a specific time to be in each area
Mark.
of the park.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap, it's 10 o'clock. Get the heck out of Disneyland. Because you're about to hit that mass exodus. Versus it's 10:45, time to get back in the park.
Yeah.
Because now we're going to go run Pirates 4 times over.
There you go.
Without ever a line.
Yep.
And so I was telling my friend Christy about this, and she was just like, no, we've got this. We already have our stuff mapped out.
Oh, yeah.
Ourselves out. And they're first-time Disneylanders. And so getting to watch their experience of without the nerd brain versus with the nerd brain, we rode every ride with you twice. Yeah, because we really do know what we're doing. Or when we tell you, don't go to that bathroom, cross over here and go to this one. Or use this water fountain. Or go get your, chimichanga over here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It tastes so much better over in this corner.
Yeah.
But they come from the same kitchen. It doesn't matter. They taste better over here.
Yeah.
So getting to see that from my friend's perspective, I think it's one of the reasons I'm really holding back of going right now, because I don't want to see it I don't want the pandemic to hit the park more than it already has.
Yeah.
And I think there's part of me that is very much scared of going back to the park right now, because I haven't gone back to the park since the pandemic.
Yeah, it's been
and I haven't gone in to see what's been shut down, what's changed, what's new, I just don't want it to change, because everything else in our lives has changed. So it's like that one piece of sacred ground that I'm just like, I just want it to be there when I come back.
Right. Oh, I fully understand. Yeah. I understand.
And I don't want to be told that I can't go watch whatever dumb show is playing underneath Space Mountain because I'm too lazy to avoid the line right now.
Or you want air conditioning.
Yeah. Or, you can't go play in the animation. What am I trying to think of? The
art of animation.
Yeah.
Art
of animation.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because that's my air conditioning spot. When I'm overheated, that's where I go.
Yeah. Turtle Talk.
Go draw something for an hour. Like, I don't want to be told I can't do that because of social distancing.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to. I was reading something, because we all read all of this crap on our off time. I was reading something, and they were like Secrets of Disneyland, and it was talking about if you go into the Art of Animation building and you go through Belle's library, that there's a secret there, and I'm like, that's not a secret. What is this crap?
Yeah. How many? That is a good question for everybody. How many times you run across that article that says, "Here are the top 10 things you need to do or the things that are forgotten or hidden.
Yeah,
and they're
like the
no.
hidden Bell's Library back there. And I was like, that's not new.
That's not new.
Been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, oh, how you can get your guest, the character that they do there that's like you would match this character that's in the Bell's Library.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not new. Why is this a secret? Why is this? Because so many people, it's not a main attraction.
Yeah.
So therefore, so many people don't know about it. And I remember reading this article being like, if they change this because of COVID, I'm going to be really upset. Like, just those stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep having these thoughts of like, yes, I want to go get the magic key. Yes, I want to do this. But do I really want to go back right now? If I go back for Oogie Boogie, it's different because then it's on special event terms and I'm still fine with the choices.
Yes.
Because I've been to many of special events there. I've been a huge fan of the After Dark passes. I loved the After Dark series.
Yeah.
So if I go back on those terms, I don't feel like I'm missing out on something.
Gotcha.
But if I go back on main daytime Disneyland and I'm told I can't go into the Art of Animation because it's an indoor venue and I live in LA County. LA County is ridiculous. Orange County is better. LA County is still ridiculous.
Yep.
Woody is experiencing that right now.
Yeah. I've been spoiled in my lovely Placer County. You can talk crap all you want about our weather right now, but oh my God, the mandates are, it's a different world.
We are fully mandated here.
Oh.
Fully mandated.
And I forget. I'm walking through, I'm like, that's right, huh? I forgot I need that. Literally, completely out of
Every time we leave my house, you have your mask in your pocket.
I'm like, what? Why? Oh, crap.
Yeah. In being a NorCal native and then being here in SoCal, I keep going home to see my son and I go back to NorCal and I'm just like, wait, why are we not wearing masks?
Yep.
What's happening right now? Because I've been here this whole time and it's very different between LA and to be fair, LA County is the last holds barred county in Southern California. They are, for example, we have 2 boats that come to Catalina Island. One comes out of LA County, one comes out of wherever Dana Point is. It's not, I think it's Newport. I don't know. Wherever it comes out of, it's not LA County.
Isn't there San Pedro?
No. This is an issue with us, by the way. So wherever this other boat comes from, but it's not LA County. And the mandates on the boats are very different.
Oh, jeez.
Because on our boat coming here for up until maybe a month ago, you couldn't eat or drink on the boat. You have to wear a mask. You couldn't have, even in the terminal, you have to have your mask on, even though it's outdoor. Like all of these mandates because it's considered public transit. The boat, it's an outdoor boat. If you do it correctly, it's still considered public transit. So it meets these standards. But the either Newport or Dana Point boat does not have those mandates. Which is weird because we get so many people that come here. So Orange County is one of those. Granted, it's right next to LA County. The mandates are not the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I understand that.
So even when we went to downtown the other day, it's like mask on, mask off. So we have to wear them outside. Can we go in the store without them? I don't. I just don't know the rules anymore. And I'm a COVID nurse, and I really don't know the rules.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's the irony of this whole thing. I do
Very
this for a
ironic.
living.
Very ironic.
I just need to know what the rules are. And I'm more than happy to follow them because I'm a COVID nurse. I can tell you all about what we're actually seeing. Irrelevant to right now, but I just need to know what the rules are today and where am I at? And where are they not consistent county to county?
Yeah, understood.
The rules are. Because Orange County to LA County is like one street over.
Literally, yeah.
And it's like, wait, so I have to wear a mask at that 7-Eleven, but at this A&PM I don't? Like, I'm so confused.
That's awesome.
All true.
But yeah, so we had a good time in downtown.
Yeah.
We went to all the stores.
Yep. Wonderground.
Once again, disappointed in the merch, and I've said that so many times on the other podcast, on the DU podcast. I've said that so many times that I've just been really disappointed in the merch.
You should have gotten that beanie though.
I found a beanie that said mermaid on it. That was pretty much the only thing I found that was even purchasable. But yeah, we walked around even World of Disney, and I don't think either of us picked up anything that was remarkable.
Yeah, nothing.
And in the years I've been going to Disney, I always find something I suddenly need.
Yeah,
that I never knew I needed.
There were a couple of mugs. Well, actually, there was a mug.
No, we didn't even find mugs that we liked.
That's true, actually.
We found those in home,
Oh,
but not in
correct.
World of Disney. And I don't think I've ever, up until the pandemic, I don't think I've ever left World of Disney without one thing in my hand. Even if I carried it around the store for the whole time and then be like, okay, you really don't need that.
Yes.
You still pick up something.
I am the same way at Pioneer Mercantile in Frontierland.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Oddly. Random shit.
That's me on Amazon. I'll put stuff in my cart. It has to stay in my cart for 24 hours before I can purchase it.
Yeah, I know.
Because otherwise I would have put 1,000 Amazon purchases.
I can attest to that. I've witnessed that already.
Yeah.
I live on an island. You don't think you could purchase here comes through Amazon?
Oh, cool. Gotcha.
So,
did you go into that Star Wars store at that Rainforest Cafe?
We did go into the Star Wars
well,
store.
How was
there? Like, I will be the first to. I've never seen Star Wars, so you can hate me now. Although Udi did really learn all of my nicknames for all of the characters.
I did.
Okay.
And he giggled
I did.
for a long time.
I'm going to keep those for me, though.
Every character has a nickname.
I'm going to keep those for me, though.
Okay.
From a non-Star Wars fan of what I call them, because I'm like, oh, I mean, that's the guy with the asthma, right?
Yeah, the guy with the asthma.
So every single character has a nickname of how I see them.
Yeah, I was literally going because we're going through the kids section, and I'll have the different costume. Like, okay, what about that guy? What about that guy? Oh, that's that guy.
From a non.
No, she only got one. 100% correct.
Chewie.
Oh, that was Chewie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Chewie.
Oh, that's Chewie.
Even the Ewoks, I mean, I know who they are. I am a product of the 80s, so I know who they are.
That bare minimum.
But yeah, so we went in that store.
Yep.
And I, we had this conversation too, as a non-Star Wars person who has never seen the movies, I've seen the middle three. Whatever came out in the early 2000s, I've seen those. So technically episodes 1, 2, and 3, I think are the ones I've seen. Jar Jar Binks, which I've been told is the wrong one to watch, but that's the one I've seen. But growing up,
to make you watch those.
I'm not going to watch those. I am 40 years old. There's no time to watch these.
We will have a conversation.
I think 8 is the wrong one to watch.
Oh no, we're not going to go there. We'll keep on moving forward.
Okay, well, this.
No, because you're going to be. She will check
There's
out like
8 of these.
9.
There's 9.
Crap. No, I'm still definitely never watching them because I thought I was like 6 behind.
No, 7. 7, 8, 9. Don't.
And I honestly don't know that I saw the third one of that series. They came out. I know I saw the first episode. I saw Anakin and I saw Jar Jar. So that's 1 and 2.
That'd be Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
I don't know that I saw 3. I saw 1 and 2.
Did you see Anakin lose his legs and become Darth Vader?
No.
Then you did not.
Okay, so there we go.
That was the best one of the 3, I thought.
It was.
Which makes sense of why I hate Star Wars. So all of that being said, when I first walked into Galaxy's Edge with Joey and watched Joey cry, I understand what that meant.
Yeah.
And having an autistic child who has no perception of reality versus fantasy, when he first walked into Cars Land, he was literally walking into Lightning McQueen's home. And so for those of you who grew up on Star Wars, I cannot talk again. I'm not even halfway done with that. The first time I walked into Galaxy's Edge, seeing that, I was blessed enough to walk in there with Joey, and seeing that from Joey's perspective of that was his childhood. So, from the perspective of somebody who doesn't give a crap about Star Wars, seeing Galaxy's Edge for the first time, I was really impressed with how real life it was. So I felt like I was in another location. I felt like I was none of this was Disneyland, which I still have an argument with.
We talked about that.
Which we talked about.
We did.
I don't feel it goes there. Not that it's wrong. I just don't think it goes in the Disney park. Whole nother issue. But walking into Galaxy's Edge for the first time and getting to see it from Joey's perspective was really cool. This is clearly a part of his childhood. Joey cried, and he'll tell you he didn't, but Joey totally cried. But he wasn't my only friend I was there with for the first time, and getting to see it from all of these guys that have grown up with Star Wars and their perspective, it was really amazing to see their childhoods laid out in front of them in very much real life. And so when we went into whatever the store was,
an Outpost or whatever, I don't even know.
I was honestly really disappointed in the merchandise. It all seemed very cheap. It all seemed very just thrown together to make some money.
Yep. I agree.
And as a crafter myself, like there were so many times I walked around, I can make that, I can make that, I can make that. It was very handcrafted.
That was a comment.
But not quality handcrafted.
Oh, shoot.
That was a frequent comment by this one.
Okay.
I can make that.
So I have a laser cutter at home. I can cut through wood. And they had these little magnets. One of the first things we picked up in the store, and you'll have to comment on what the magnets were because I honestly couldn't tell you.
I don't remember.
But they were very poorly done. It wasn't fully cut through the wood. It wasn't engraved. It wasn't the paint matched the engraving. It was just very poorly cut into the wood. And so the comment I made to him is, not only can I redo those for you,
better,
but I can do them so much better.
Oh.
And this is like an at-home crafter versus Disney. And this is my argument, is I can do this at home. Your Etsy sellers can do this at home for next to nothing for a very easy project. And there's not a lot of graphic designs of Star Wars, unfortunately, because their stuff is very straightforward and very geographical, or not geographical, but geometrical.
Yeah.
Geometrical. Okay.
Geometrical. That's what I'm trying to say. But just basic. So redesigning some of their stuff is really easy. And so it's like, okay, this would take me maybe 15 minutes of redesign, followed by a 15-minute cut time. 30 minutes, I can have you a better project for cheaper than the one that they're selling at Disney.
Oh.
And I felt like that for a lot of their things.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. As we walked around downtown Disney, randomly, shooters kind of walked by and like, I can do that at home.
Well, even the one that you picked up, the wreath that you picked up in home that I had made the comment on. So there is a Nightmare Before Christmas wreath that has actually been on the market, I want to say, for probably 3 years. It is a wreath that is done like little felt bone cutouts that are in this wreath. And maybe some Jack Skellington stuff on the bottom of it. Whatever is very basic design. Very basic design. And I follow a group as a at-home crafter that is like dollar store crafts. Like literally stuff you can buy from the dollar store and repurpose into something else. I'm pretty sure I've seen this exact same wreath done from dollar store materials.
Nice.
But they're selling it for, I think it was $40. 39
40.
roughly.
I think
$40.
I think 40 or 45
at Disney. For
at the home store.
Felt wreath. Not even a good quality. Like,
no, it didn't feel very
Disney
good.
has had some very good quality stuff that's come out. Like, I had made a comment. We'd walk through the dress shop, and there's a lot of beautiful dresses. Not my style. I am not really a dress wearer, but there's a lot of really cool designs. And what was on the one that I had commented on first?
Oh, I can't remember. I remember you going. Yeah, it was.
It was Tomorrowland.
Blue, and they had
the bottom of the skirt was Tomorrowland. And my comment was, I really like the design of the artwork on the dress, but the cut, the fashion design of the dress itself. Who wears these dresses from the 50s? Like, I have a cousin who dresses up in amazingly. She's very rockabilly punk. Like, that's what she wears every day. Like, that's her style. She rocks it like none other. But other than those very specific people who are wearing this stuff, or for Dapper, or for what, like, who wears this stuff? If you bought this $100 dress, are you ever going to wear it for something?
Oh, I didn't even look at the price tag.
Oh.
Are you ever going to wear this stuff for something other than Dapper or something other than a specialty occasion? Maybe once a year?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. So I had made this comment that there is a shirt for sale over at World of Disney.
I was going to bring that up.
It is a Hawaiian shirt style. Like, because they've gotten into this really, like, cool Hawaiian shirt style. And it's a yellow shirt and it has Hey Hey all over it. I love this shirt. I love the shirt. But it's a men's cut.
I told her to get it.
They don't have it in women's cut. Nope. They don't have any of these Hawaiian shirts in women's
cut.
And if they do, they're the stupid little midriff shirts. And not that I'm a big girl, but I'm not a little girl. Like, that's just, I have way too many tattoos for that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is, but I'm not showing off my midriff. I'm 40. I'm not showing off my midriff. So I kept, and I think I had this comment when Joey and I went to Disneyland last, like, I really like this shirt. I don't want to buy it and repurpose it because it was like $60 for this Hawaiian shirt.
Mhm.
And I really want to buy this shirt because I love the print on it.
It is a great shirt.
But then I would have to completely redesign the shirt after I bought it to make it a girl's shirt.
Mhm.
Because it's men's cut Hawaiian shirt.
So straight, not tapered, any of that. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I could easily wear it, but it's just not what I would want it to be.
Okay.
So then I kept having this. I'm like, I might as well go to Hot Topic and buy a knockoff for $12 because it's Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Poorly made, because then I can repurpose it and then not feel bad about it. And that was just kind of like this theme throughout this whole shopping experience in downtown Disney. Is we kept walking into places. Okay, great, that's awesome, but you can go buy the knockoff. It seems like better reproduction.
It was crazy. As over and over and over again. Like nothing ever. Even okay. I love Wonderground. Christy loves Wonderground.
We were impressed with Wonderground. Even
Nothing.
This time. Nothing stood out.
You made the comment, and we both kind of said like we're super happy that Wonderground is back.
Yeah.
But as you walk in the store, it felt like
It was very girly from the start. Like, there was very princessy.
Yeah.
And that's what I started to say earlier about the AMC. There's something weird princess happening, and I don't know what that is yet.
They're doing a theming for it or a tribute or whatever.
The whole downtown Disney area is getting a Disney theme.
Yeah, for the princesses, I believe.
But since we're on that topic, we walked through the AMC area, and there was many of poster up with different princesses, and there was the stand in front of mural of Moana that said, part of our Disney Princess series, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it was like fan art, maybe? It wasn't Disney art. It was like maybe a fan art.
Maybe.
Of like a mural of Moana.
Yep.
But it was part of the Disney Princess series, is all it said.
Yep.
But you walk through the AMC area, and it's all Disney princesses, which made me wonder if they're going to bring Ariel's Grotto, old Ariel's Grotto, princessing, to what used to be the AMC Theater.
Wow. Interesting.
Because it's really what it looked like.
Yeah, it really did. And even I, we're kind of walking by, and I went, hold on. And I turned around and
we had to go, walk
through
I'm
like, no, now I'm going to go look if I can see anything. You can't.
Yeah, you could, but it was just like a lot of banners and signage that was Disney Princess, whatever. But it looks like they're about to turn that area into a Disney Princess theme. Something.
Wow. I've got to keep our eye on that, I guess. See what's going on down there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to find out what they're going to do there. But we've had conversations this week, too, of single mom, 2 kids. Like I get asked all the time, like, how do you afford Disney with your 2 kids? And one of the things was like we did those character dinners, but there was one per trip, and like running Disney on a budget and how to do that. Like there are things that you do, and you're a dad too, so you've probably run into this many times.
Dad, 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Like your kids never went through I can have anything I want in this park. No, that's not how this park works.
How you handle it. What she did is brilliant.
And so my kids were always taught, like, anytime we went to the park, if it was we usually never go more than 3 days because we're from California, but it was, you're given a $50 gift card, and that $50 gift card covers anything other than your one treat a day. So if you wanted 2 churros today, mom will pay for one, you're getting the other one yourself.
Right.
On your gift card. Or if you wanted to, I remember when my daughter was probably 6, she bought the big Disney castle because she had saved up her gift cards from like 3 different trips.
Wow, good for her, yeah.
And was just mad because she couldn't ever have her churro that she wanted. But she bought this stupid castle that I think she played with maybe twice.
Oh.
But I was always like, I'm not spending $100 on a freaking toy that you will never ever see. And sure enough, she never ever saw.
Yeah.
But my kids are always like, to this day, they're 18 and 20, and they're like, do we get our $50 when we go to Disneyland? Does that still qualify?
Yeah.
And have learned how the workarounds are.
And the answer is what to that?
They haven't been to Disneyland in a year and a half, so when they were below 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm taking my son to Disneyland for the first time, and my son is very much on the autistic spectrum, so he'll probably get his $50.
I'm so excited.
My daughter works for a living, so sorry, kid, your $50 is out. Yeah. You take your own $50.
I'm super excited for both of you, for that, by the way.
But my daughter got to go. Like, we went to Disneyland right before the closure. We went to the Pixar After Dark.
Oh,
and
I remember that. Yeah,
she still got her $50. So yes and no.
Yeah, understood.
I think people are gonna be getting $50.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes from here. But my kids are smart enough now to figure out too, because like, if I had a treat, I would share it with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I wanted a churro, I will not eat a full churro, so they could have the other half of my churro.
Oh, okay.
So my kids were smart enough to figure out, like, if we just hold out long enough, Mom will finally want something.
Nice.
But we also, like, I jokingly call them the emu legs. I'm sure there's many people who have loved that term lately. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
But they will feed a family of 4. We are a family of 3. So the 3 of us can eat while on Mickey's Wheel of Death. We'll sit there and get the emu legs there, and while waiting in line, eat through the leg. By the time we get to the ride, we're ready to throw off the remnants of it.
Yeah.
And we're all fed.
Yep.
There you go. Perfect.
So we don't need to do the whole princess dinner. But I will say, those of people who are on the fence of if they should, I very much remember for my kids' like 6th birthday doing the Goofy's Kitchen. It's still the one I recommend to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Goofy's Kitchen was the best character experience we ever had of all. We did them all, unless they would bring back the railroad, the all-you-can-eat barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
It's the better one.
Mm-hmm.
But
long gone.
Yeah, that's a whole mute point. But doing Goofy's Kitchen with the kids, like, all of the characters that came through. So whether you're a Princess fan or a Fab Five fan, or a Mad Hatter came through there. I think we had Baloo come through there. Like,
Baloo, really?
Yeah, like characters you wouldn't even remember suddenly showed up at the character dinner. And I remember my kids just lit up because it's like, oh, Alice is here. That's fine. Holy crap, that's Baloo. Or, you know, some random character would walk through. Oh, Chip and Dale are here. Which are kind of Fab Five, but not kind of Fab Five. Like, they're still part of that classics.
They're the periphery.
But I remember my kids, like, loving that dinner versus the Ariel's Grotto one we did. Or we did, we did the Sorcerer's one when they did the Sorcerer's meal.
Oh, crap. Yeah. I never did them, so I don't know.
We did that one, too, when we were little. There was a Sorcerer one. But I still have this, like, amazing picture of my son holding his sister's birthday cake and the Mad Hatter and Alice standing next to him, and he's just got this, like, eyebrows up, just so excited to be standing next to the Mad Hatter. The kid probably doesn't even remember seeing Alice in Wonderland, but he knew that they were pretty big deals to him.
Oh, yeah.
So,
nice.
It'll be interesting to see how all of this comes back after pandemic.
Yeah.
See how we bring back some of these experiences for our kids.
And
our kids now that we're all old.
Our kids.
I don't want to think about that.
No. No.
But getting to experience those things again and through new people's eyes, and us getting to, I know you and I talked about the Wee Man, and getting to secretly tell children who are throwing fits in front of Indy, like, hey, did you know that we have leprechauns here?
Oh, I know. That was a great story, yeah.
There was a mom her kid was losing it in front of Indy one day, and I was waiting for something. I think I had friends at Bengal or something. Oh. And just happened to be sitting in front of the tree, and this little kid was losing their crap, and I leaned over and I was like, hey, did you know that there's leprechauns here?
Nice.
And getting to share, again, part of being a nerd and understanding the magic of Disney, like with this little kid who was not okay. The Wee Man, which so many people to this day don't know where that is.
No idea.
Right, yeah.
And getting to have that nerd moment of, hey, there's leprechauns here.
Leprechauns.
And the kid was like, what? What do you mean there's leprechauns here? And so, like, the mom was just so grateful that somebody else took the time to acknowledge their kid who was having a tough time. And the kid was so excited that I was like, oh, you know, this is real. Like, it's right there. And I think sometimes we forget how real this is to so many people. And I think that that's what I keep kind of going back to in so many of our conversations is one of the reasons I don't want the magic key because I don't want to be told I can't do the things I used to be able to do. And so many times we've gone back to I don't want to experience it different than what I've known it for so long.
Oh yeah.
Because it's home. It's kind of like going back to your parents' house and they've kicked you out of your room. Like, but this is not what it's supposed to be. I don't want to sleep on the couch. This is
right.
Right. And that's kind of how it feels to me. Of like, I think that's why I'm so hesitant on this magic key thing. It's because there are so many parts of Disneyland I know so well that it is home. Yeah. That it is this childhood upbringing, even though I didn't start going until I was like 18. But there is this sense of, I know this place so well, and I've been here so many times, and I know all of the ins and outs, including where to use the restroom and where to use the water fountain, which chimichanga to get, that I don't know those things anymore because it's all changed in the last year and a half.
Maybe you'll have some muscle memory for that when you go there.
It's not me I'm worried about.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's them.
It's them. Okay.
And do they keep the good chimichangas over by Big Thunder?
Oh, yeah, right. Those are the best churros, too.
Like,
well,
are we going to go back to the park and find out, like, the chimichangas are now over in Cardland? Like, that's not where chimichangas go.
No.
There's no chimichangas there. Yeah. They don't go at the Cozy Cone. That's where you get the mac and cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
This is all screwed up.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is there are a lot of things that have changed. And I went to the park at, a month after reopening? Maybe. And that vibe, I mean, I made the comment before on the show that while there was a big part of me happy to be there, there was that other big part of me that was like, man, it's good, but it's bad.
I knew I wasn't going to go until opening, like full 100% capacity. Like that, I just couldn't. I couldn't go and see. As much as the limited number sounds amazing, that just is a great plan.
Yeah, but remember we had that conversation. Remember after I came back, and then we were kind of talking about that, like how the park was, and I kind of went, and you would kind of mention that maybe you're thinking about going, and I kind of went, I don't know.
Well, and I look at it from this perspective. Like we've all been in that Adventureland area before and after the remodel of that area. And it's great now that the space is widened and you're not stepping on strollers every time you walk through there. And you're not like trying, excuse me. I just want to go to Pirates. Yeah. Get the hell out of my way. Yeah. I don't care what you're trying to do at Bengal. Like, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
But now that you can walk through there and it's not congested, it feels weird. It's not wrong.
Kind of.
It just feels weird because I'm so, again, with the muscle memory, I'm so used to walking through there and having that crowd there.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I walk through and I'm like, that's Tarzan. I don't remember the last time I even looked at Tarzan's stupid house. I don't want it to go anywhere, but I don't remember the last time I ever went on it. Why is it still here?
Right.
All the things that we changed. Why is that still here? But you've gone through it so many times and you haven't been able to look at those things because it's been so crowded. Or the having to know where the secret line is at the Dole Whip station versus now, like everybody knows that. And it kind of sucks, but you can just go inside the new place and order them there.
Yeah, for sure.
Matter.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some of that knowledge is now lost. I feel like, and again, it's that part of home that's changed. Like it's that part of this is what we know. I know when I walk into Adventureland, it's going to be a shit show. I know when I walk through there, I'm going to have to try to kill at least 3 parents with their strollers because they're walking in a 4x4 stack with a stroller in front of them, not paying attention to where they're going and just running over your ankles. Like you just know that that's going to be a part of your process.
Oh yeah.
So when you walk in there and suddenly there's room to move and you're like, well, this is weird. Like I can walk and I can get to Pirates without fighting my way through. And it's, Fantasmic is going, so why can I walk through here right now?
I know, right?
And so it's just weird. And I think that that's what's part of my hesitation right now. It's not wrong. It's just weird because I'm so used to the crowds. I'm so used to, look at us all that have developed the Fast Pass or the Max Pass, habit. I have a disabled child. I've got to double down. I've had Max Pass with a disabled pass. Like it's been great. And now I'm like, oh, shit, now I don't need either one of those.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is weird. What do I do with this information?
That's-
And I don't know how it works yet. But I also know that it's no longer necessary. And so I'm having these moments of, is it better? Maybe. But it's not the same. And so again, it's like that sleeping on your parents' couch. Like at some point you'll grow out of this home and you'll no longer need these. You don't need your safety blanket that you had since you were 2, which is the crowd in Adventureland for me. Like,
yeah.
I just know it's going to be there. So you're just fine with it. It's your creepy uncle that, wants to kiss you, or your creepy aunt in your case that wants to kiss you on the cheek. You just know it's going to be an issue. So you just don't care anymore. You're just there. So now that it's, the creepy aunt's not going to be there, you're just like, huh, well, that's weird. I kind of miss this creepy aunt all of a sudden. Like, where'd she go? Why are you not here? The holidays just aren't the same. So I think that that's some of, like, Disneyland has built so much weird nostalgia for me, and so much weird, like, you're just used to these things that they're suddenly gone. And for whatever reason, like, we still don't have a grasp of what's happening in the real world. So for this to change our safety world, because Disneyland to us nerds is absolutely this fictitious world we all live in and we can all group in. And I mean, look at this family we've built of Sacramento nerds. So we know that there's others out there like us.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because we're this weird tight-knit family of 4 different podcasts from Sacramento that have all built this tight, weird group. That if we're in Sacramento, they're all over. So it's that changing of home for all of us.
Well
and again,
put.
it's not bad. It's just different. And I don't normally have anxiety, but I suddenly have this, I don't want to go to the holidays with the creepy aunt, whatever there. It's just not the same. The holidays are different without going, oh my God, she's weird. And that's my lack of lines in Adventureland. But although from what I saw this week, those are still there. There was a lot of people at the gates. We did walk to the gates. We did go in the Esplanade, by the way, is under construction.
Yeah, they have the middle.
Something is happening there. So the Magic Disney walls are up. Over the tiles.
Great.
I have no idea.
Whatever they're building there is Esplanade, Plaza, Esplanade. So whatever they're building, there, has the "Pardon Our Dust" sign over it. And the Magic Disney walls.
Halloween decorations are up on the.
On California. There was Oogie Boogie was up on California, but not on Disneyland.
Nothing over there yet. But
and there really wasn't that much holiday merch out.
Nope.
Which is surprising because, like, here in Southern California, our Lucky, Safeway, whatever, is Vaughn's. And we have holiday merchandise already in our Vaughn's grocery store.
Interesting.
Which Disney is usually the first to hit the bat there. And I don't think we saw anything. There was a lot of 2021 merchandise. Which I struggled with because my daughter graduated class of 2021. And we went in June to Downtown Disney, and there was not one single item of class of 2021 merchandise.
They had more
it was
now.
still in May. It was still in May when I was messaging you about that. Because it was right around her birthday.
And then I remember.
And there was not any class of 2021 merchandise there.
Oh, I failed.
Which I thought it was weird, because don't kids usually graduate May, June?
Yeah.
Not one class of 2021. And I will say, when my son graduated class of 2020, we went in like September, and all of the merchandise for class of 2020 was buy one, get one. Nobody wanted 2020 anything.
Jeez.
The year to forget.
So he had like cool socks that say 2020 on them because they were buy one, get one. I think I bought his graduation ears and some socks and a cup or something. And I think I paid like $10 for all 3. We couldn't find anything for my daughter.
And we
all looked.
We were looking. That was like the main
And their
drive.
2021 merchandise was not
good.
Yeah. It's very Epcot-y.
Yeah, good way to put it.
Like that weird font that they use for everything Epcot. I don't know how to explain that different. Like very bright and colorful. Not in a bad way, just not
bright and colorful.
Classic Disneyland. It was Epcot. It just looked like it belonged in the other parks, not ours. Take this back to Florida where you go.
And you made that comment. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of princess stuff out, but really I didn't feel like I'm usually a World of Disney fan. I mean, this whole episode apparently has been about Downtown Disney.
I guess. Yeah.
Apparently what we're talking about when you asked what I wanted to talk about.
Well, that's fine.
You can cut all of this out, Mark. You have my permission. But we went to World of Disney, and I didn't feel like anything was really themed. And usually when you go through there, there's like a princess theme or a movie theme or a Halloween theme or something. And it just felt like random merchandise throughout the store.
Yep.
Like that there was no set. It was like, okay, look at our car stuff over here. Look at our little girl stuff over here. Look at our Star Wars stuff over here. Like nothing seemed like that middle main area typically has one or two sections that are like, Haunted Mansion. Although they had Hocus Pocus stuff.
They did.
And they had Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. And I had made the comment of, I don't like either one of those being here because Disney did not want part of either one of those movies until it became kind of this weird cult following.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to take a quick break and go do the randomizer because the randomizer just shows up whenever it wants to. So with this, we get to keep an attraction. We get to modify an attraction with details, and then we get to remove an attraction. That's how it works, right, Udi? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a list of all the attractions between DCA and Disneyland. We randomly select the top 3 that come up, and here's the music. Okay, there's the music. And the top 3 are, this is good. Indiana Jones Adventure, Temple of the Forbidden Eye, Soarin' Around the World, and the Mad Tea Party. And this is the attraction, not the defunct show.
Oh, that's tough. Okay.
So we get to keep one.
Easy enough, though. I could do this easy. I am keeping Mad Tea because that's history and that can't go anywhere. Soarin'? Is it currently around the world?
It says Soarin' Around the World.
Okay, then I'm going to change that one.
Okay.
Because I prefer Soarin' over California, especially if you're going to be in California Adventure. Right. So we're going back to California. And honestly, you and I had this discussion on your Jeep or on your golf cart tour. Is Indy really needs a lot of work?
Yeah.
Indy can go.
We were talking about that.
It can go?
Indy can go.
Oh, okay.
Indy doesn't necessarily belong there. That's very Universal Studios ride. Indy could be something else. Indy and outdoor adventure Jurassic Park to me. Granted, Jurassic Park at Universal Studios is a water ride.
We had this conversation.
We were riding around here in Catalina in the golf cart the other day, and I was like, it's very Indiana Jones, except for when I first started riding Indiana Jones, you had stuff that actually touched you.
Yes.
You had the darts that would feel like they were actually hitting you, not you just hear the air.
Yeah, the cue.
I hear the air, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, you don't feel that pop anymore.
The spears would actually move, the walls would close in, things would actually happen.
In the queue.
That ride's got to go. I get that you were built in the late 90s, but we're done with you.
Oh, man. Okay.
It just needs redone completely.
Well, I think...
And it's just so broken down.
I don't think I told you this, but but when we were having that conversation, I think Jess is friends with a CM who's a little bit higher up in the chain.
Okay. And
that at that time, and this was pre-pandemic, mind you, that they were running the ride again, running the attraction again, and trying to decide what we got to beef up or what we got to.
Well, no, remember, there was a budget they had already talked about getting that. It was going to go offline for a while and redo some stuff in there.
It really needs redone. I remember riding it in 97, and I remember the first time you rode it, you had the cards that they gave you that you could work on the hieroglyphics.
Yes.
In the queue.
That's on an app now.
The little decoder thing, right?
But we have the decoder things, and it made more sense. And like I said, I remember walking through the queue for the first time, and there was the certain tiles you would step on that would make the wall shrink in on you, or the spears go, or something weird would happen. None of that works anymore.
No, I don't think it does.
No. And you're stuck in that queue for so long. And then when you get to the temple part where like you have to the Forbidden Eye or whatever, and they go through the whole thing, like that could be so much better. And if you look at the way we're doing rides now, and you and I were talking about whatever the new Star Wars ride is, but that I don't know where the ride starts and where the queue starts. Like they've done such a good job that you don't know when you're actually on the ride and out of the queue.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't we do that with Indy? Like, there's so much potential there to make that this complete immersive. And I remember when I was 17 and I rode that ride for the first time, and I remember it being like this, wow, this is cool because everything moves and everything interacts and everything is part of it. And now you just go through and you're walking for days.
Yeah. My feet hurt.
Through these caves that make no sense.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Until you pull the rope, and you pull the rope, and yeah, dude's stuck in a tunnel, cool, whatever. And then you move on, and then it's like, okay, well, if you go in this lane, you're going to get stuck there forever. So you pick the right lane, and you go up and over.
Yeah.
And then you end up right here, and then they choose your number, and then you ride this ride that's half broke down most of the time. Half the lights are out most of the time. You miss chunks of the ride every single... I don't remember the last time I rode this and went, wow, everything was working this time. It's always the rats aren't on, or the spears aren't blowing, or the smoke isn't there, or your car breaks down, or something. I mean, something is always wrong with that ride. Or I can't tell you how many times I've been on it and it's broken down mid-ride, and you just don't get the whole ride. And so it's like, maybe it's time to retire that one and put something else in there.
Okay,
like,
so you're gonna get rid of Indy. You want to be.
Mad Tea is just Mad Tea. Like, you can't go to Disneyland without expecting the teacups there.
That's
like,
true. Yep.
Like, it's just the teacups. I mean, how many photos do you have of your childhood, of even not you, but your relatives that were at the teacups? Like, that's that nostalgic Disney. It's kind of like Dumbo. Like, we may not ever ride Dumbo again, but that's part of that marketing.
Can't.
Oh, I can. Yeah.
But that's part of what we know of Disney.
Yeah.
Like, you go into Disney, you know Dumbo's going to be there.
How many pictures, how many pamphlets, how many brochures had Dumbo? The Dumbo.
Oh,
those
countless.
just have to be part of it. I'd get rid of most of that whole Fantasyland area before I got rid of the teacups. Like, those have to stay there.
Yeah.
Those and Dumbo have to stay. Get rid of the damn castle for all I care. Well, you can change the castle, but the castle, most people don't even realize you can walk through there and that there's an experience in there.
That's true.
But most people don't realize that that's actually an immersive thing.
It's a really cool
there's
thing.
There's a castle. You walk through the tunnel. No, you can actually go into the castle and learn Sleeping Beauty's story. Like, it's in there. But most people don't realize that there's actually something in that castle. It's just a gate that you walk through and propose in front of it. Like, that's what you do there. That's all it's there for.
Right.
So, like I said, I would get rid of so many things outside of Fantasyland before those teacups. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay.
Soarin's one of my favorites, but I prefer Soarin over California, so that just made it easy.
Oh, I do too.
Like, oh, wait, which one is it in?
I know, right?
Let's go back to California.
Right.
But that actually made more sense to me anyway, because if we have Soarin' in California and we have Soarin' in Florida, why would we not have Soarin' over the world in that whole world experience over there in Florida versus the California Adventure one that should be just California?
I agree.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
If we have both of those experiences, I think that it should be broken down. Make our rides just slightly different.
I agree. Okay,
but I like the California one better.
Udi, you're up with those.
All right. Well, while her arguments are
correct,
I'm going to give you interesting. You are.
How many times have you told me I was right this week?
0. So what I would do is talking about India, and it's funny because like she said, we did have that conversation about what isn't working, what hasn't been working. And so to me, you keep Indy. But there is, she is not wrong with the fact that a lot of it isn't up to snuff anymore. Nowhere near opening day. And that has been a problem for a very, very long time. So while I kind of get her point of view, I'm like, hell no, that ain't going. So no, Indy stays. Would I prefer a fully operational Indy?
Yeah.
From Q through? Hell yeah. I would much prefer that. So that would be my thing. Now, I brought up Soren before.
You brought up what?
We've talked about Soren before.
Oh, Soren. Okay.
And I made the comment, because Christy is right about California being Soren over California is better, without a doubt. And maybe we're biased because we're all from California, but that when they went to Soaring Over the World, to me it lost a bit, not nearly as good.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where I changed, and I made the comment before that I wouldn't mind it as much if they did the queue or they did the attraction where you didn't know which one you're going to get.
Yep, I would agree.
You could jump in like, am I going over the world or am I going over California? I would love that. I think it would add a cool little mystery, that people would then, people like us would start trying to figure out, like, oh, if I go here, this, and try to figure out the...
It's kind of like when you're doing Guardians and you try to figure out which
exactly.
door gets you which song.
Yeah, exactly. So we would do that. So that, unfortunately, leaves, Mad Hatter. Well, no, but...
The Mad Tea Party, yeah.
The Mad Tea Party. The only reason that, again, her arguments aren't incorrect, but I just wouldn't keep it.
He meant to say I was right.
No, there you go.
No. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. So, yeah, I would get rid of that one.
You're fine. Just keep talking.
Okay. Moving now? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we're moving a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah, that is what I would do.
Okay. Right on.
What about you, Mark?
Let's see. I think you have to keep the Mad Tea Party just because of its heritage, and its aesthetics, a part of the whole park. Not my favorite attraction or anything that go on at all, but it adds so much. And when that thing is not running, you definitely miss it. You miss the music. I am gonna just get rid of Soaring Over the World, and I'm gonna modify Indiana Jones in the fact that it just needs to get it needs the treatment that it deserves. So,
thanks, Mark. You agree with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you gave her a little bee in her bonnet.
There you
go. Feather in her cap.
There you go. Okay. So before we sign off, we're gonna get Christy to do her top 5 we're questions here. So we're gonna get
5 questions.
We always ask our guests this here. Okay, Christy. The first answer is, what is your essential Disneyland?
First question.
That's whatever.
Wonder Morning.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the question? I'm sorry. He's interrupting you.
Okay. What is your essential Disneyland attraction?
I have to go in the Tiki Room every single time. It's always the Tiki Room. I can miss other parts of my trip, but it's always the Tiki Room.
Interesting answer. We haven't got that.
I don't think we have ever. Yeah.
No.
It's been weird and unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite food or place to eat?
Mm-hmm.
So, favorite restaurant and favorite snack. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I have a favorite restaurant because it changes depending on who's with me.
Okay.
No, but I don't eat there that much. I haven't eaten there since the kids were little. I honestly think we do turkey legs almost every single trip, even though it's not my favorite.
Okay.
Like I said, it feeds a family of 4 quite easily, so being budget conscious, that one has always been a favorite just because I can feed all of the kids. But we always go for a Dole Whip, and I will still say that the Dole Whip is my favorite food.
Okay.
Favorite restaurant is no longer there. So I miss the Big Thunder.
Big Thunder Ranch barbecue.
Yeah, I miss the barbecue because, and again, part of that was being budget friendly, and I could feed my kids and then some.
Yes, you could.
But the ambiance there was just fun. It was kind of a quiet place, and having an autistic kid, like, you can really recognize having the kind of quiet, off the path place that most people didn't even realize was back there.
I know.
Right.
And I just miss the family atmosphere, which we use Golden Horseshoe for that now.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet place. We'll go upstairs in Golden Horseshoe, and it's kind of your off the path. But I miss that aspect of it. So that has always been my friend. It's no longer there.
Yeah. Another thing that was awesome about the Big Thunder Ranch.
Star Wars.
No, I was gonna say another thing that was awesome about the Big Thunder Ranch is like getting into the fall season with all the Halloween colors and pumpkins, and it was so great back there. Yeah,
there was just a lot of, like I said, like when my kids needed a break, even my non-autistic child, when she needed a break, everything else was so busy and chaotic. You can go back there and it's like, okay, let's go pet the goats for a second.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
let's go eat some beans in a lunch pail. I don't know.
That's what it was.
Or a sand pail, like whatever it was, or cornbread on your table.
Yep.
Let's listen to Grandpa sing some, stuff that you hear in Cars Land now. But it was just a nice place to kind of kick back.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next question. Do you like the daytime or the nighttime better? Why? And if at night, any particular place you'd like to be when it's dark?
I think that each area of the park has its own preference. I love Cars Land at night. I think Cars Land is amazing at night. I like being in kind of Main Street first thing in the morning because you see kind of people just so excited to be in the park. And you don't get the rundown kids that are just screaming and throwing tantrums already when you're at rope drop. So I kind of like both aspects in different areas. I just like seeing that first thing in the morning. And honestly, we've been big fans of, we'll go first thing in the day, a little after lunch, we'll go back to the hotel and take a nap and then come back at night. And I still think, to be honest, my favorite time in the park is the midnight run, which is kind of the AP thing, like doing that 11 to 12. You got to go ride Pirates and Haunted and Indy one more time. And we, just have always finished with the Jungle Cruise. It's always been our last because it's that like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off thing. But it's just one of those like stupid things that you end up doing. And most people don't know about the midnight run that you can, as long as you're in the queue, they can't tell you no. And I've had some cool opportunities and met some really cool people in those midnight runs. So
nice. Solid answers right there. If you could have attended the opening of any attraction, what would it have been?
That one's tough.
We only ask the tough questions here.
I'm going to stick with Pirates.
And why?
Because I'm the sea life nerd. But I think that, and again, you and I just talked about this, like the thought that went into that ride and the history that went into that ride, like what we know about it now. And what it meant to Walt to be designing parts of that. Like to have his own hand in that and not just the Imagineers. Like he had his own portion of that. And I think that for me, like granted there are other rides there that have that same, but it was Pirates. And not in the same fashion that Pirates was designed and the hand that he had in it. So getting to see, and Udi and I were talking about this earlier, that Walt was not just a Disney pioneer. He was an entertainment pioneer.
Right.
And getting to see what he had in that ride and his excitement for what was coming to the table. Like, having been able to see that on its opening day in its full glory before we changed it so many times. Like, what did it really look like? The script was different. The ride was different. The animatronics were different. What we know of it now is not even close to what it was on opening day.
Right.
And so getting to see his vision of it, I think, would have been really cool because we got to see parts of that at D23 when I went a couple of years ago. And we got to see the script originally, and we got to see some of the animatronics from you would not even recognize them because this is not pirates that we know today. And the script was so way off. Then I mean, I can recite most of the pirate script to you now, word for word on the songs and what they say through the ride. But on opening day, it was very different. But it's just that Disney nerd of me that appreciates Walt's story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Solid answer right there. Okay. Another one. All right, this is the last question.
It's like 1 a.m. and I still have solid answers. We're good.
You're good. Yes. If you were to show a guest what attraction or area of the park best symbolizes what the park is about, where or what would it be?
That whole New Orleans Square. A lot of that area for me with Haunted and Pirates, because you still get the awe that is being in Disneyland because our rides are so much different than anywhere else. You still get the history and the nostalgia, and this was built so long ago with so much imagination and that inspired all of this. So it's not like Tomorrowland, where Tomorrowland, I will admit, is very much run down. Needs some work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
It's not that. It's not Frontierland, where it's meant to be set in time. It's not the Fantasyland, where it's meant to be built for little kids. Most of us don't even think about Toontown anymore because we haven't been there since we were 5. So it's very much that whole New Orleans Square area that we grew up there. The rides are still relevant. If they need changes, they don't need a lot of changes to be up to par with what we expect them to be. There's still some cool history and nostalgia there. But it is absolutely what we see as a park. You can still get lost in that area, and it's Disneyland. Like, you cannot go to Disneyland and not be in that area at one point. Like,
True.
It's just part of who we are. I can go to Disneyland, absolutely miss Fantasyland. I can go to Disneyland and absolutely miss Frontierland. I can go to Disneyland and absolutely miss some of these other areas, but I can't go and not go to New Orleans Square.
Okay. And that's what you would show someone. Yeah. Awesome. Great answers. I always find them to be very interesting because everyone has a completely different perspective and different importance. And I love it. So good times. Right on. Okay. So thank you so much for spending time with us, or me spending time with you guys, I guess is the right way.
I've been with him all weekend.
Yeah.
You can have him back now.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, how can people learn more about you, Christy? Or how can people find out more about you if you choose that? If you want them to, if you want to be found, I guess, how would one do it?
If you want to find me, I am on Instagram.
Okay.
I think it's like A Squirrel Gone Wild.
Yep.
Is my Instagram name.
Okay.
And they're separated by the underscores. Yep. You have to spare. Huh?
Oh, shiny. Go ahead.
Oh, just look for shiny things. I will be underneath
look for
them.
shiny things. She'll be pointing at them.
Okay. Shiny things. Okay.
I'm very much an ADD mermaid.
Or in the water.
Yeah, or just look in the water somewhere in the California Channel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm very rarely on Facebook.
Okay. Same.
Instagram is kind of my default, and I don't even check that much. Part of the SEA. No, just kidding.
Nice. Okay, Udi, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on, obviously, my other show, The Mando Show. And The Mando Show is about your favorite show and your favorite IP from Disney. You can also find me on my Instagram and my Twitter, but the main part is the Instagram, which is all HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. And yeah, if you want to talk to me, Instagram will be the one as everybody knows, I answer all of my DMs.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Except for Christy's.
Okay.
Exactly. I talked to Mark before I talked to you.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. And to leave us an email, you can go to info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Send them one there. Check us out at leavingtodaypodcast.com or on Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast. Yeah, this is going to wrap up episode number 137. We're going to record 138 quite soon. We have an interview coming up with that. So look forward to that. Thank you to Christy for coming on tonight and for letting me hang out with you two virtually for a couple hours, I guess.
Thanks for putting up with my ramblings.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's good stuff. You have a lot of deep thoughts about this stuff. It'd be different if you had like 1 or 2 word answers, been like, "Oh, that was good," but it's good. You're passionate about it.
And I don't know how to give 1 or 2 word answers.
No, you've got a lot of knowledge about it, so that's great. Love that. Okay, and you might be able to out talk Udi, which is crazy. So
that's why we're friends.
Yeah. All right. Well, until then, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you, adventurers out there.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, see you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now ended its normal operating day. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.
Can we do that again?